Sephiroth is an AI-controlled temporary party member in Cloud Strife's flashback. He cannot take damage, acts of his own accord, and his equipment cannot be removed. So he is in a flashback, and he's AI-controlled.
The way I view Final Fantasy villains is kind of the way I view JoJo's villains, where it's like, you see him in the background, and you obviously know it's... Except Kira. Kira is the one exception.
And that's why Kira is the best villain in JoJo. I mean, like...
Yes.
Kira's the best villain, because I think he's the most down-to-earth. Like, he's... I really like him because of the whole... He's not super grandiose, and that's kind of what I enjoy. I really enjoy how Part 4 doesn't go for the whole, like, this is a world-ending catastrophe scenario. I like how it's like, no, this is smaller and contained. I liked that.
It's not save the world.
My point is kind of just, it makes him better because he's not the, oh, well, that's clearly the villain because he's wearing a G-string and 28 belts. And nothing else.
Cough, cough, Final Fantasy. Literally in 10, the Black Mage has a skirt made out of belts. It looks stupid, but somehow cool.
I love the obsession with belts in Final Fantasy. By the way, anime.
I mean, belts obsession is just a fucking anime thing in general.
I don't understand. Why the fuck does, like, this... I'm looking at this Guilty Gear character, and he's got, like, a rope belt that looks like 2 giant ball sacks.
Here's why, because belts are cool.
We've been vamping for 20 minutes. I just realized I completely forgot we're doing a stream.
Right, we're doing a podcast.
Anime.
Yeah, hi.
I forgot we were streaming. Hello, everyone, and welcome to FMK Anime.
Jesus, let me fade the music out, okay? Okay, we're going with a hot ending. I'm gonna have to cut this weird. Go.
Okay. Hello, I'm your host, joined by my co-hosts Limus and Makan. Say hello, you two.
Hi.
Where can they find you on the interwebs?
Can't, but you're welcome to try it at @_Viking on Twitter. For some reason, I can't log it onto my main computer, so probably going to be less activity. So it's just whenever I'm bored on my phone.
You can find me at limus.card.co, where through that you can find me about everywhere else on the internet. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of shit, and I might be starting a blog soon for some fucking reason, despite that being super outdated. So, yeah, I don't know, look at that.
Hi, and you can find me driving around in the black van with the tinted windows, working for a security company, or on Twitter at soul_king777. However, if you are a minor, do not follow me. I will steal your kneecaps and make a kneecap monster and have them eat you. But this is a show where each week we watch a list of anime, and at the end of each week, we can cut one. Last week, we cut The Detective in half. And, well, let's just jump right in with our first show, Aquatope of White Sand, Episode 3.
Oh, we're just jumping right in. Let's go.
Hell
I always think that there's more preamble that we do at the beginning, but really, no.
Yeah, no, we already did 15 minutes of that.
All right.
Yeah. In this episode, Fuka and Kukuru weigh the penguins, but learn that one of them is sick. So they call in the pregnant vet while she's there, her water breaks. After a quick fever dream where she sees her baby, she is taken to the hospital and gives birth. We also learn Kukuru's parents passed away when she was young. And I am satisfied that my sort of theory that, well, not theory, my guess that Kukuru's main flaw is that she's self-centered. Like, and that was on full display this episode, and she gets chewed out hard for it.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce a concept called Chekhov's baby. That is, if a pregnant woman is introduced within the first act of an episode of anime, that means by the third act, that thing's getting popped the fuck out.
Yeah, I enjoy that, because I'm like, oh, she comes there like, I didn't think it'd be a problem being fucking overdue. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I was like sitting here like, and Cooker's like, "Would you mind watching the other penguins?" I'm like, "But girl, she's pregnant. Just send her home already."
It's like, yeah, like, once again, like Chekhov's gun. You see a pregnant lady walk in, shit's coming out eventually. We're gonna see it. It's not just, oh, this character's like pregnant. We're gonna go on with it, with our lives, whatever.
Oh yeah, the moment she came in, she's like, "Oh, I'm overdue." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh, her water's gonna break here." And when it does, like everyone just comes together, and you can tell that Cooker is like, "Oh, I fucked up. I fucked up hard." And it's like, "Yeah, you did, girl, but at least you're acknowledging it."
Yeah.
I mean, it's equally on the pregnant lady to go, yeah, I'll drive out there.
I'm overdue, but let's go. Hell yeah, penguins.
Let me take a taxi out there and not inform my fucking husband or anything.
Yeah, like, it is also on her, but I can sort of see, because as someone whose job and life she's dedicated to these animals, I can kind of see, like, going like, "Oh, doctor said it'd be good for me to get exercise anyways, they need me to come in, the animals are sick, yeah, I can do that, I've made a horrible mistake."
Yeah, no, it's not impossible to think, but like, fucking come on.
I mean, hey, I was like half a month overdue when my mom finally decided, fuck it, cut it out. I don't want it anymore.
I was about to say, you were pregnant, Maid?
No, I was half a month overdue before my mother eventually just got a C-section to get me removed.
I figured out what I was getting into when I was born and tried to strangle myself with my umbilical cord, but that's a different thing. Another part about point about childbirth. I mean, at least when the pregnant woman's in the aquarium, stop pumping the LSD through the vents, goddammit.
Like, I wonder if there is some magical aquarium shit in play here, or if it's just people having fever dreams.
Yeah, because honestly,
considering
considering
we've seen the fucking mini Hawaii man, yeah, there is some like magic water spirit guy.
But I like how it's all in like times of duress. Like, no one's ever in their right minds when they see it. Like, lady is literally about to give birth. The other girl is super depresso and also like not
severely
dehydrated. Severely dehydrated, yeah.
And also, Fuka finally told her mom where she is, and now I'm expecting road trip to Okinawa, mother to come down and cause problems.
Yeah. Mother comes down. Do you want a fucking slap? Wham!
Okay.
I like
yeah. I feel like I need to start with my opinions. Aquatope is at a point right now where it has gotten 3 episodes from me. This is like my threshold for my tolerance. Like, I am willing to give almost anything 3 episodes to try to like catch my attention. And the fact that this episode, for me, felt like it was an hour long, I think states my final opinions on this show. I just feel like nothing's happening. I just kinda don't care. Like, it felt like this entire episode was focused almost primarily around this new character that came in. The pregnant lady. And, like, maybe alluding to whatever the fuck this spiritual bullshit that's happening is. And, like, I guess Fuka finding whatever the pregnancy book was, which I guess that's, like, a thing from her mom or something. I don't know.
I think the maternity guide book Cooker found hints that her mother was pregnant at the point when she died.
Oh.
Because it was not filled in and had a name on it and the dates. It was a unfilled one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This show is very character focused. It's not the plot itself isn't too intensive. It's more in the background. Hey, aquarium might be closing down, but it's about the characters and their struggles. Kukuru is very self-centered. She doesn't think about what she's putting other people into. She has this expectation that other people are going to be fine. Like she's very much, she doesn't think about the struggles others are going through, as we saw last episode when she completely didn't recognize that Fuka is new to working in an aquarium. And this episode when she was like, call in the pregnant lady. It's the penguins. It's the penguins. And I'm interested to see her work through it, because see her getting scolded for that was nice to see, because it shows that she's not perfect. And I enjoyed it, because it was just seeing like her grandfather go, you should have just called me. No, there's no excuse for this. You should have just called me. I could have taken care of it. And just seeing that, it was like, yeah, because she did make a bad call there. And just, I enjoyed seeing these characters. Like, the vet is probably going to be a reoccurring character now. And
oh yeah, probably. Hopefully.
I liked the vet enough in seeing her. I still really like Fuka. She was a bit less, she wasn't as like important in this episode, but I liked her presence here, and just seeing her finally tell her mom, like, hey, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing. And just getting more information and knowledge on Kukuru and her character. It's just, I really like it. It's a very character focused show, and it's very relaxing. I watch this show when I want to relax. Like, even the pregnancy part was relaxing, and I'm interested in what this LSD aquarium vision shit is.
I wouldn't say nothing happened in this episode. I can't agree with you on that, Lemis. Like, a lot happened. We got introduced to another person joining the workforce at the aquarium, the relationship between both him and Fuka, and him and the fucking guy who just can't handle women and is, like, either super gay or just has a fucking phobia for women. Just the entire thing with the pregnancy, dealing with that, showing what that does for both Fuka and Kukuru's mentality, having dealt with that. It, like, a lot of thing happens with character building and things. It's not grandiose and it's kind of subtle, but
yeah,
it's a slice of life show. That's just how it is.
And I'm saying, I don't really care. Like, I don't know, maybe this is just my taste, but, like, I'm just, like, sitting here and I'm like, okay, I mean, like, I don't know how this, like, correlates towards, like, trying to save the aquarium or anything or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
That's fair.
Maybe I just don't, like, I definitely feel like it'd take a lot for characters to drive a show completely. Like, I want some sort of plot meat to it. And I feel like this show is not really gonna give that to me. So I'm kind of like, whatever so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about personal taste, and from what I might understand, I don't think you enjoy slice of life that much. But at the same time, like, there is a story there. It might not just be as overarching and grandiose. It's because the story is about soul searching for both Kukuru and Fuka, and in a more bigger sense, saving this aquarium that Fuka is learning to love, that Kukuru already loves.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It's not the fact that I don't like non-grandiose storytelling. I can take a slower-paced, like, more relaxed show. It's just not this one. I just feel like there's no investment from me personally. Nothing is getting me invested in the struggles of this aquarium and these characters.
And sometimes a show just doesn't land for someone, and that's fine.
Yeah. But hey, it seems like I might end up watching a good majority of this anyways. You two seem heavy onto it.
There's a possibility.
I just really like it. Fuka is such a... I really like Fuka a lot. She's just her entire struggles, and while she was a little less present in this episode, I still like what we got with her. Like her being with the pregnant woman in the car, the tourist manager just coming in going like, I'm here. Let's go to the hospital, bitches.
There's one thing I like about this. I like all the references to, like, Okinawa's involvement in World War II. Like, how she said that there was unexploded ordnance over there. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, Okinawa was, like, pretty much the front line in the Pacific front of World War II. like the gamma gamma like that they were talking about was used as fortifications by Japanese soldiers.
Oh shit!
So yeah,
I didn't know about this. When they see that unexploded ordnance, I'm like, that's a fucking casual way of referring to a fucking terrorist attack.
no, it's like leftovers from like Japan and US duking it out there.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
It like came as a surprise. It was just something, and it's like, yeah, this is the setting. Like Okinawa is still dealing with this shit to this day.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Yeah, I actually really like that. It was cool.
I didn't even catch it. Then again, I don't know much about World War II shit, so...
I mean, neither do I, so that's cool that you caught it, Linus.
Well, yeah, because, like, I heard, oh, yeah, there's some unexploded ordnance on there. I was like, what the fuck? Jotamatsu, explain? Oh, right, World War II.
It wasn't a dude pushing a fucking nuke in a shopping cart. We had to stop him.
I can't believe Hawaii Boy was really just a child that survived Hiroshima.
Damn. I don't know how the fuck he got over there, but yeah. I do have to say, like, knowing my outlook on the world is quite bleak. So shows doing things like this show does is refreshing for me, because seeing people just being good to each other is nice. When in reality, I know this is a very rare thing for humans to do.
I'm there with you, man. But like, I don't know. It's just like I see that. I understand where you're coming from there, but like for me, I just don't see that making good TV that I want to keep going with.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think I've spoken on all the points I have to say. Any of you have anything else to bring up?
I really enjoy how there are a lot of little details that I even miss myself, and I think I might be the warmest on this show so far, because you mentioned like how you think the mother was pregnant about the book, and I was just thinking that I didn't even catch like, oh, the mother might have been pregnant when she died. I was just thinking, oh, was Kukuru just wanting to see what her mother filled out when she was pregnant with her? But no, it actually makes a lot more sense what you said, McCon.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, the book would have been filled out if that was the case, but it was blank.
The first time I saw that, I thought they were gonna go the way and saying that the idol lady was pregnant, and I was gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck? But then I reread and like had to check the fucking names of the characters.
I do love how the fucking pregnant mother was like, "Are you pregnant?" When she asked for, she's like, "No." I found that funny. That gave me a chuckle.
So sorry, go.
I was gonna say, when what's her name was asking, and then the other girl went, "Are you pregnant?" All I could think of was running through Kukuru's mind was like I thought she was asking for like the penguins or something, because she's a fucking dumbass. But then it just shows her looking at her mom's stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're ready for cards then, aren't we?
One last thing I wanted to add in. I see where they're going, like where the romance between these two are going to come from. Like, especially at the end with the whole penguin charm thing. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe that'll be cute to suck on for, like, the rest of the show if you guys keep fucking it. I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing to suck on there. They're both girls. I mean, unless one of them wears a strap-on.
You can suck on other things than just cock meat.
You can suck the bean.
I know, but the joke didn't work. I don't know.
It's fine.
You gotta be thinking about them toes, boy.
I for one about to pull up this card. I'm giving this show a fuck. I'm having fun with it so far. It's nice and cute, and it's enjoyable to watch.
I'm gonna do the same. I am also going to pull out my throbbing eggplant and plant it into. I think the tour guide is of age, so I'm gonna say her.
Fuck it, I'm gonna fuck the pregnant woman.
She's not pregnant anymore.
Let's fix that.
Jesus.
God damn.
I, on the other hand, am at a point where I think I want to be a little bit more cutthroat with my knives. Like, if I have to watch more of the show, I don't mind. But on the other hand, I want to watch less shows. Like, I want to start cutting more of the show, so I'm going to give the show the knife.
Fair enough.
Because I'm not really that engaged in it.
Well, speaking of fucking, consensual or not, let's move on to Itaden Deities and the Peaceful Generation, Episode 1. The Itaden are enjoying this era of peace until Glasses Boy, Twin Tails Girl, and Angry Boy go to a glacier to find out that Fantasy Germany is trying to... After killing the demon and destroying a robot, we see Fantasy Germany invading a town and raping a nun.
Before we continue, may I offer, because I know we're all going to talk about the scene at the end, and it's going to be a long-ass talk. Can we please start this off by talking about everything that comes before this scene?
Yes.
Sure.
I enjoy the style of it. I enjoy
This
the
show
show's
has
style.
color, and I love it. Yes.
I fucking love the just look of this show.
Yes.
I love that they do the fucking JoJo bullshit of just fucking switching the color scheme.
I'm just going to say this right now. OP of the season. The OP is fantastic.
OP fucking slaps!
It is trippy. It is amazing. It is so trippy and cool. I love it.
I love it, and I'm not sure if I like it or Girlfriends more. I can't decide. I love both of them. Both of them are fantastic.
Here's another part about the opening. The music fucking slaps and the visuals are trippy, and at least from what I can tell, it doesn't spoil anything except these characters exist.
It's so good. It's like at such a high it's not such a high resolution. The colors pop so much. Like Girlfriend is good because it has the motifs and stuff, but it gets kind of samey through here. Itaden, I was glued to the OP for the whole time. Because, like, there's different, interesting, cool, and weird things to look at throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, they're taken apart and put together like puzzle pieces. It's cool.
Yeah!
Yeah! Also, I just gotta say, I was not expecting, like, okay, like, when we got to the point where it's, like, Angry Boy and the teacher running through the desert. And then he says something that causes her to fucking roundhouse kick him. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna get some chibi humor. And then she keeps beating him, and absurd amounts of blood come out of... And it's like, holy shit, I was not expecting that!
She pulls actual MMA moves, full mounts him, and beats his fucking face in!
I did not expect this show to be so gory. I love it.
The physical comedy in this show is great. I fucking loved that. And in extension, episode 2, what they did in episode 2.
Yeah, no, episode 2, and I'll bring up my point there, because we talk about episodes differently, but fuck, it's so good!
Although, as the actual characters themselves go, we haven't seen too much from them so far, so I'm not going to be too harsh, but I'm not too warm on the actual characters themselves. The situations they get into are engaging enough. I just hope the characters are not fleshed out, but get a little bit more to them.
And I just gotta say that this... Sorry, go.
I do enjoy the 4 different characters we have had so far of the main characters. And, sure, we don't know much about them yet, but that really goes for any show that just begins.
I feel like the bones of a lot of classic Japanese media are all being referenced in this show. Like, I feel like we got the color popping of JoJo's, we got, like, the general landscapes and stuff feel very,
Dragon Ball.
very Dragon Ball to me. The actual demons, the way that he spoke, like the weird, deep, like that feels very classic kaiju-esque. When he used his laser beam, and like that fucking sound effect is straight out of like Gundam and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this show like loves like classic Japanese media and is gonna wear that love on its wrist.
Oh, yeah, I noticed a lot of Dragon Ball motif in this, like them running around the world, like the landscapes and everything. Even like the iceberg and everything. There's a lot of Dragon Ball pumped into this show, I noticed.
Yeah, it's just I've wanted to get into Dragon Ball, but it's kind of the point of an age of animation in the beginning of Dragon Ball that is kind of too far back for me to enjoy it. It's just something about our stuff back then that rubs me the wrong way. So I'm happy that I have this to kind of substitute it, because I want something that is as over the top as Dragon Ball.
I would recommend, if you do want to get into Dragon Ball, try watching Kai. The actual animation is more closer to Super's animation in Kai, and
I mean, I could start in the middle of it, but I'd kind of be lost, and I'd rather not.
Oh, you mean like original Dragon Ball? Oh, okay.
No, but like original Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah, Kai covers original Dragon Ball Z. It just is newly animated and cuts a lot of the fat.
Oh, I might look into that then.
Yeah.
I love the way that they use the Itaden being absurdly overpowered. Like, there's this the little scene with like whoever it was talking with the Nazi general dude, and then like him getting slapped and being fine, but the other Nazi dude just being pasted.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just like how much they get thrown around and just bodied, but get back up and be like, yeah, I guess it hurts a little bit. Like, I adore Hellsing, and that is one of the reasons why I loved Hellsing, because of like Alucard getting fucked up and just continuing on like a badass. So this gives me the same sort of feeling, on top of the fact that apparently we're going to be fighting a lot of Nazis.
Yeah.
Do we want to get to the scene?
I do want to talk more about the fight scene and stuff. Like, I love the choreography of it. Some of the screenshots I took of it was like one of them that took me a real long time to screenshot in motion, because otherwise the pause bar is up for me. Was when he kind of jumps off the pillar and it kind of goes. You see like his face for 3 frames before he attacks the monster. There's so much detail on that, even though it is there for literally like, I don't know, a half a second. It's so much detail into it. At least a lot of detail comparably for what you really need to put into a scene like that. And just the general shots and everything. It's so good. The fight scenes feel so fucking good. And I love his feeling of just Saitama, just like, yeah, let's get... You fucking dead already?
Oh, yeah, the, fucking, what do you call it? The workers at MAPPA are very talented.
Talented people work there, absolutely. Alright. We gotta talk about the next scene. We gotta talk about the Nazi rape scene, I believe.
That we do.
I thought it was grossly mishandled. From the start of it being a joke, like, oh, we brought the Kleenexes and everything, and then the actual way they portrayed it as a spectacle accompanied by classical music, I was grossed out.
I feel like I was grossed out and fucking pissed through the entire scene, and I feel like that was intentional.
I feel so too, and I think it's a very well way of handling it, really, because you're not supposed to feel anything except grossed out against at something like this. And as much as you might think it is gross, acts like this is something that almost every military on Earth has done.
I don't hate the idea of it. I hate how they portrayed it. It was portrayed more as a spectacle accompanied by, like, the classical music. Whereas what it is it's a horrible act that's being committed. It felt more like I was supposed to be laughing, and I wasn't. I was just grossed out. It felt like the intent there was to be comedic. Whereas in the next episode, when they showed essentially that scene again, that's when I felt like, okay, this is it being handled well. It's not being handled like a spectacle that you're supposed to laugh at. It's being handled like you're actually supposed to be disgusted and grossed out.
Dude,
I
just have to say something. Sorry.
I don't see where you get the comedic feel from me. The only slightly comedic thing is one of the soldiers being disgusting, like, believing in Kleenex is better. And that's not supposed to make us laugh. That's supposed to make us understand how depraved and disgusting these motherfuckers are.
I actually have a problem with this scene, but it's not the problems that are being presented right now. And though I have to say, like, I looked at the manga because using the website that I've used to watch this, someone posted the original panel of what this scene was supposed to be. Holy shit, they did it so much better in the anime. Because what they have in the manga is borderline erotica hentai. And does not look like it was done with any kind of... Like, looks like it was done to, you know, be sexy instead of being disgusting. So they did it better. My problem with it is, this show, like, I see where Meep is coming from, because this show is so lighthearted, and so, like, kind of fun, and bloody, and gory. And then there's just this horrific rape scene, and it's such a tone shift.
Accompanied by
feels awful. It feels awful in the way it's supposed to be, but it also feels awful because it's like, in Berserk, it's expected when things like this happen. It's horrific, it's awful, but you know it's coming. In this, it came out of left field and caught me off guard, and I just had to sit there for a bit like, what the fuck? Why now? Why did we have this scene now of all times? Why? We've been having nothing but fun with the rest of the episode, and then it's like, wham! Like a truck. And I didn't like the way that it was done there. Like,
the way it was animated and the music that was accompanying it is what made it feel like it was supposed to be more comedic. Is because you see, like, when it's being animated, it's like you see through this pastel glass, and you see her being thrown to other soldiers, and then, like, an explosion of cum hits the glass. And then she's thrown to another soldier while Beethoven's fucking classical music is playing in the background. And I'm just sitting there, jaw agape, going, this is just gross. This is grossly mishandled.
Yeah, no, the fucking... I don't know if you're kind of had the same fucking thing looking at me, but the soldiers are drawn in a very fucking silhouetted, creepy, kind of demon-esque way. It's supposed to show that it's not a good thing, and what would you like instead of the fucking classical music? Fucking grunge rock or something? Or just horrid screaming? I mean, either or, we know the atrocities that is going on, and it's not supposed to be a good thing.
I don't think there needed to be music there at all, because then that would have got the tone across, instead of treating it like it's supposed to be comedic. Or at the very least, lighthearted.
It was not treated as it was supposed to be comedic.
I think the music was supposed to be... Sorry.
And lighthearted, the content that it's covering is certainly dashed any trace of that being the case.
That's why it pisses me off, because it feels like they're trying to treat this subject matter as being lighthearted. That's why I hated this scene. It was treated with no care or fucking... It's treated with no care and comes out of left field. It was grossly mishandled, in my opinion.
My problem, I see where you're coming from with the music. I felt it like it was trying to just take the edge off. Like, if we would have heard the full-on, like, noises that were being made and shit, it would have been, like, even worse. I probably wouldn't have finished the episode, to be honest, out of protest.
Well, there are shows that have done that before, where you don't hear the noises, and you don't see... Well, you kind of see that, kind of don't. Like, first episode of Goblin Slayer being an example, from what you were saying, Berserk being another example, too.
Well, but then again, with Berserk's a manga, there's no soundtrack to it.
Well, there are anime adaptations of Berserk.
And they've all stayed clear of the rape scenes. Because they're cowards, but whatever.
Oof.
Either way, still. So, if anything, you are calling Berserk cowards for steering clear of the rape scene, but this show does not, and therefore it is. And
No,
you say
I
that
don't.
that is
No, I don't
disgusting
think.
and shocking?
I don't think. I think it is disgusting and shocking because rape seems supposed to be disgusting and shocking.
Yeah, because
I
it
think
fucking
was
is.
done. I think it was done okay. I just think, in terms of editing, there was a time and place where you should have thrown this in, and it was not at the end of this episode. Like, I feel like if it would have come like about more the time when we started learning more about the Nazis and stuff, like that would have made more sense, and it would have been less of a tone shift. Like we would have, instead of going from a big high to a really low low,
They
and we would have
essentially-
like glided down in
Okay.
there more and more.
If these two episodes were not released at the same time, I would disagree with you. Because looking at it as a simply first episode perspective, this gives us a perfect view of what the show wants to be. It wants to be lighthearted while still covering serious and fucked up shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you there. It's just, I don't know. It seems like these are hard to talk about because they're meant to trigger negative emotions.
I know.
It's hard to try to like look into it, like especially me personally, look into it and think, okay, is this discomfort meant to be purposeful, or is it also because it's bad or something? I don't know. That's why I don't know. I feel like I said my piece as best as I possibly could.
Yeah. As for me, I think it was handled well enough to get their point across. I don't see them making jokes out of it. It was not supposed to be apart from the original ripping of the clothes, which they did a very erotic shot off, which is yeah, no, apart from that, I think it's handled in a very well way, and then showing just how fucking disgusting the act of soldiers unchecked sacking a village can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm usually all for horrible shit like this, but from the feeling this show gave me, I still was kind of undecided in this episode how I wanted to feel about them covering if they should go this much into detail or not. Though they decided to do so. They've decided that they want to jump from the Itaden being as uncaring, carefree, and lighthearted as they are to the reality of the world being as grungy and fucked up as it is.
Absolutely. I definitely think that's where it was coming from. Like, world is fucked up, and also, you know, when eventually our heroes are slaughtering these guys in droves, you know, you don't gotta feel bad at all. They're fucking horrible.
I'll say that point again with the second episode, but I don't think they're actually going to be fighting the humans.
Well, at that point, I've said everything I need to say about this episode. I'll touch on this as well because it was the first episode. The ED is pretty goddamn good. It's very nice, lighthearted, and catchy and casual, but it's pretty good ED for what everything's worth.
Oh yeah,
Also,
then we have that scene, and then it's bookended by this really uncomfortably upbeat Edie, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm still processing shit, man. Calm down.
The ED of the villains who lead fantasy Germany.
I'm gonna get to that when we get there.
I feel like we're at cards. I'll hold up mine. I'm gonna fuck this episode just because, aside from, if the show doesn't do, like, I am okay with it covering these topics. I just want it to cover them in a, I want them to cover them with care. I will get to it in episode 2, but I think they managed to do that, but we'll get with that in episode 2. I really liked all the homages and everything. Like, I like the comedy enough in this show. The fight's okay. It's more of a curb stomp, if anything, but that's fine. The not espionage, but the mystery of like, oh, is Green Itaden Boy a traitor? ? He sent the body away. I don't know. I'm interested to see where that's going because, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna fuck this first episode.
Personally, for me, even though I did like the first the first chunk of it, as much as I was invested, if I'm going purely on my feelings on the end of the first episode, like, I loved most of this show, and then that ending just sort of put this weird uneasy feeling that's like, I don't know if I want to deal with more tonal whiplash like that, if there is going to be more like that. And I don't know, my gut reaction at the end of the first episode was to kill it, so I'm going to go with that, as it seems like I think this is pretty safe that it's going to live past its first episode. So I'm going to give it at least one knife, because I feel like with how it dealt with its material, it deserves at least a little bit of a warning knife.
I'm usually okay with the shows covering their horrible actions of reality in their shows in another world and fantasies and stuff like that. But they need to actually have a reason for covering what they're covering, and this needs to be something that has importance instead of just being a scene thrown in for shock value. And as it stands right now in episode 1, I would not see it have much of a reason for it to be there other than shock value. Episode 2 speaks otherwise, but as it stands there, I hated that this random nun we know nothing about got thrown in there and had this horrible thing done to them, just so we, the audience, would sit there agape, jaw agape, and wonder what the fuck. I'm still fucking the episode because the rest of it speaks well enough, and I hope that they're gonna do more than just have shock value. Just shock value atrocities happening.
I feel bad for the nun. I'm gonna send her my thoughts and prayers.
All I gotta say is I'm not sure how much of me killing this show is actually because I really do believe that I think that this is going to be too much of a tone shift, or just because I think it'd be inappropriate to say "fuck this show" to this episode. It feels weird.
Trust me, I just struggle with it. But if I separate that and just this episode did enough for me to want to see episode 2, but if it happens again, it might be a different story. But yeah, so that is 2 fucks and a kill for Itaden Deities in the Peaceful Generation, episode 1. Let's move on to episode 2, where the Itaden train with Rin, while an army general conquers a nation. We learn that the sorrow of war is what summoned the Itaden. And at the end of the episode, we see a ragtag group of villains from fantasy Germany gather to discuss the Itaden. So, Itaden are summoned to fight demons through sorrow, but because of war, they are summoned, and, well, it's an existence of, well, there's no demons, so I guess we're just sitting around training. I think that's a good enough concept. I actually do enjoy that concept.
This show's gonna be Helsing. This show's going to be the love child of Helsing and Kill la Kill, and I'm gonna fucking love every episode of it. This show seems like it's gonna be rad.
No, the explanation for why deities don't come in and kill other humans is because they're a higher life form. As much as we don't care about, say, an ant colony killing each other, we don't go in there and kill the ants who started killing the other ants. They wouldn't care about which humans are killing other humans. Humans are still gonna survive. There's still gonna be humans left. And that reasoning entirely kind of made me understand why there might be this much of a tonal shift, because the Itaden don't have a reason to get involved with the humans. While the humans might struggle as much as they are, there is no incentive for them to help them.
Although there's this group of either Itaden or demons that are working for Fantasy Germany.
Demons. They said demons.
Okay.
Demons given human form instead of kaiju form.
I know one of them called the Doctor Demon Lord, but I thought that was just being... I don't know. I thought that was just being...
They called him Demon Lord who gave us demons, human bodies, and minds.
I gotta say, I have a couple problems with this episode. The one thing I actually do like is I like that these guys are gods, and I do not give a shit about the human world. Like, honestly, maybe this is just me being a fucking weirdo atheist, but like, yeah, if there was gods in the world, why the fuck would they care? They obviously don't to begin with. So I feel like this is coming from that sort of perspective.
That is, I mean, I enjoy that as well. I think that is a great way of why they aren't out there trying to kill every evil human, because for them, I mean, humans can't really be evil. They're just humans. My only complaint about this episode is about a scene that I actually loved, but kind of writing out my thoughts about it did bring up a thing in my mind. The scene where fuck, I forgot his name, the gone-looking motherfucker from Hunter x Hunter, the green boy, asks Rin about the Itaden, how they work, and she's just like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I never thought about it. I have no idea. I love that she, being as blunt and goal-focused as she is, never bothered to ask any of the older ones before they were gone about any of this, which makes full fucking sense why she would know nothing and have no answers for him. But it's kind of also lazy world building.
Okay, so this is what I got from this series, and this is one problem I have with it, is when Rin, the Log Horizon looking dude, green cloak, blue hair boy, he's giving his little diatribe about the world or whatever and what he thinks the Itaden are. I think it's trying to set up the fact that it's trying to tell you, shh, don't worry about world building. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. And then it immediately turns around and actually gives you answers about Itaden and how they are born and, like, what their purpose is. And I think that was just disingenuous. Like, it speeds through all this, like, don't worry about this nerd crap about world building or whatever. Just sit back and have fun. And then proceeds to go into world building. I thought that was disingenuous.
I don't think it's disingenuous. I think it just highlights the difference between these characters. We have one that does not give a fuck. She knows what she's here for, and that's the only thing she really cares about. And then we have one that's really caring about where they come from, what their purpose is, how they come to be. And he gives us as much of an explanation as he would have access to and as we would probably need at this point. I mean, they are born by the wishes and hopes of humans during great moments of strife, like a war, and are then incubating for years if not another Itaden comes and takes them out early. And they exist to fight, to save humanity, but they're not fighting to save, the greater amount of humans or the ones that aren't warmongering. Just save them from things they wouldn't be able to handle, like big fuck-off demons.
Save them from the outside threats, but not themselves. And it seems like I hope we're going to get into a position where they're going to be forced into, actually, we're going to need to fight these Nazis. I hope they come to that. I hope they come to that conclusion before it's revealed to them that, yes, there are demons in charge of this army.
I mean, I don't see why they would. I mean, it's just another human nation that's being warmongering and killing other humans. I mean, there's still going to be enough humans around. They're not going to go extinct.
True. Actually, you know what? I think that's just me going, like, throughout this whole series, I'm just going to be like, come on, people, let's get to Nazi killing. Let's do it.
I mean, there's going to be Nazi killing, because the demons are part of fantasy Nazi.
It's like, come on, start saving the people who are getting killed. Let's start seeing some Nazi blood. Hell yeah.
I just thought it was funny. Like, I had a realization in my brain that made me go, oh no. Because at first, I was going to call that country Fantasy USA in the first episode until the rape scene happened. I was like, okay, Fantasy Germany, then I get... Wait a second.
Hey, do you want to know a thing,
They're
Meep?
straight up just dressed like Nazis.
Hey, do you want to know a thing, Meep? That act is something USA is more fucking responsible of than any other country.
I know, it just speaks to me going, oh, okay, wait a second. In history, I was taught that this country did that. Because the reason I was calling it Fantasy USA is because it's like, oh, it's a country that focuses only on their army. I'm like, oh, okay, it sounds like the US to me, Fantasy USA.
Yeah, no, fucking raping people after you've sacked a village when you're out in another country for military purpose when you really have no reason being there. Yeah, it doesn't sound like the USA. What? Fucking Vietnam? Never heard about it.
So many rape babies.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as the Rin not saying anything to green-haired boy or being like, I don't know, the way I kind of see it is, there was this one show I watched at one point, and it was called Kokoku, and it was about stopping time. And there's this part where this guy and his grandfather go in to stop time, and the guy's asking all these questions like, wait, how can we breathe? If time stopped, oxygen isn't stowing. And the grandpa's the entire time is just going, shut up! I will leave you out of stopped time. He's just threatening to kick him back out into time, but it's stopped. I kind of just see it that way.
Nerd, yeah. Shut up, nerd. It doesn't matter. Go away.
I mean, that's essentially the answers Rin gives. It's just like, I don't care, nerd. Let's fight.
I love the fucking comparison to like. Yes, Rin hanging out in the human world and, like, reading up on knowledge is basically, like him just, like, sitting in his room masturbating all day to her.
Yeah, he comes back and asks for training. It's like my fucking shut-in boy finally grew up. It's great. Though, I do have to say, I do love, something that kind of got explained last episode with green-haired boys getting his fucking heart ripped out and still being alive. The fact that Itaden are not relying on their inner organs and don't even need to actually breathe. And which means that the brutal fucking beatdowns that Rin has been giving Hayato the entire time aren't just jokes. That's actually happened. She's killing him several fucking times.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just because she pisses him off.
Well, when you're invincible, when you can take no damage, why not? If you're just gonna be fine the next day, why the hell not?
I felt bad for the twin-tailed girl. She just gets punched. It's like, oh, she'll be out of commission for 3 days. I'm just sitting there like, oh, you poor bean. I do also want
to say, she then forced her up to train against her again a few times the same day.
I do like how... Oh, sorry.
Making an invincible character is a fine line to write. Fine tightrope to walk. You could have someone just become a Mary Sue. You run that risk. Or you have fun with it, like this show is doing, or like Hellsing did. And just be like, yeah, it's overpowered. Just sit back and have fun, fucko. Watch the dumb bullshit happen. Watch your character go through hell and back and be fine. And I'm so happy this show is doing this.
Yeah, I like it. It's great shit. Why I love One Punch Man so much, because it can kind of deal with it being its main character being stupidly overpowered because he's not omnipotent. He doesn't know everything that's happening. He has his flaws. He's just unbeatable in a fight.
But guys, who would win in a fight? Reem or Goku?
No.
But can Goku die, though? I mean, we know he can beat AIDS, but can he beat her?
Fuck.
God damn it.
Yeah, so I think it's time we talk about the Sobel Empire, or we've been endearingly calling them, fantasy Nazi Germany.
I like the energy that the masochist woman has, as I've dubbed her. Her expressions are great. I love them. Like, just her twisting her head, she just looks in a constant state of insanity.
I get big
That's a kiss woman?
Oh, like the Beast Tamer lady? That's on the front cover of everything?
Yeah, which masochist woman?
The general of the army, who, like, she has all those shots where it gets super close to her face, and she just looks. I'm calling her masochist.
She's not a masochist. She's a super sadist.
Well, I'm calling her that because just those expressions scream that to me. Just like the fucking expressions she makes are fantastic. But yes, sadist is more accurate.
No. Her in general, her introduction scene is to prove how confident and powerful she is, and it just gives this tone of how much a piece of shit she is as well.
The motherfucker in the army that's just like, showed us, yeah! What the fuck?
I like how someone else said, that's too far, man!
Yeah, I'm like, yikes!
Like, I get big vibes from these, general. I can't wait to see them fight, because, like, I'm getting the same feeling that this is where I got the whole Kill a Kill Hellsing thing, because all these characters remind me of, like, the villains of the week for both of those shows. Like, the whole roundtable discussion reminded me of when we first see the student council in Kill a Kill. And hell, the really bubbly girl who's also blonde that takes up a lot of screen time in the roundtable scene with the Nazis, reminded me a lot of Schrodinger, the character from Hellsing, who was like, oh, you're a fucking awful human being, but, like, for some reason you're so just happy and bubbly for some reason.
Yeah, and the fucking ninja who spied on them being just viciously torn to pieces.
I am happy I haven't seen... Okay, I know I really want to watch those shows at some point, but I am happy I have not seen Hellsing or Kill a Kill at this point, because I don't think I'd like those characters as much if they are like, oh, well, this is just this character from this show.
No. I'm saying I got big
no, they're not
from
similar
them.
to any characters.
They're not
from
similar
those
at
shows.
all.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of hits the same buzzer that makes your brain go, ooh, like similar in some way, but not the same.
These are people I'm going to see fight. I want to watch them fight. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it gives the same kind of rogues gallery feeling as other scenes in those shows gave.
Okay. I am curious about the Beast Tamer woman, because she's the one that you always see in the cover art voring people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're gonna find out what the fuck her deal is.
Also, one thing I didn't like about the ED, it kind of hints to something, or maybe not hints, but spoils something a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that these characters might turn good, and that would not feel good.
No redemption arcs for these assholes, please, or at least don't give them, like, slice of life shit.
I'm talking about when you see her and Gon walk by each other, but they then both look at two wedding dresses. I was like, wait, what? Why is this in the ending? Oh no, please, no, God, no.
Yeah, the ending's giving me big red flags. Like, the fact that we're seeing all of these characters that we have been stated many times are monsters that should probably die. We're seeing them,
and we've seen them personally do some pretty horrific shit, and sat back as they've let these atrocities happen. No thanks.
Yeah,
and not just the same way the Itaden is doing that. Just they're not there because it's not their struggle. They've gotten involved in the struggle and made it a victory for the people wanting to do this.
Yeah, it took Vegeta 300 episodes and 3 big arcs to get a redemption. And even then, that redemption, it doesn't fully get realized until Super.
Yeah, I hope these people don't get redeemed, because they're evil,
Yeah.
and they should, and I can't wait to see that, and I really hope that the Idatens turn them into red paste. But, yeah, that Edie just gives me bad signs, and it might lead to this show's death.
But hey, hopefully the ED is just a, hey, what if, just have something fucking lighthearted bullshit to go out on.
Hopefully. I really
What
am
if I
hopeful
got
for
a-
that.
But
What if
here's
I
the thing
got
with the ED. When I watched the first time, I thought the blonde girl walking in the beginning there was a Ren.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
Whoever wrote this has a thing for blondes, apparently.
Fuck you, Jesus. Hell.
Even the nun was blonde. I mean, what?
Every fucking female character in the show is basically blonde.
It's like how
What
in
if
a
I got-
David Cage game, everyone has short black hair.
It's like on a David Cage game. Everyone is played by the same girl.
Yeah, that one girl he met at a con like 2 years ago. Either way, alright, something we need to talk about is all that we just glossed over in the first episode as well. The fucking doctor. We never
right.
mentioned him at all.
The Nazi doctor
I mean,
who's going to
he's-
be like the big bad. I forgot about him.
He's just Dr. Giro. He's
Yeah,
just Dr. Giro.
Yeah, but he's also fucking funny, which is just like, let's escape from this plane, and then Hayato just laughs like, yo, what do you mean, yo?
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of... Okay, I don't know if you've seen The World's Strongest Abridged from TFS, but he reminds me of Kochin. Like, the one guy the one fucking robot dude they had in World's Strongest Abridged. It just... The fucking... He's... Kochin, that's a child! Yes, a child with a penis! How do you know? You're right, I should check!
Okay.
Jesus.
Alright, I haven't seen that, but that's a fucking sentence.
Gave me the vibes of that guy.
Yeah, it sounds like an abridged series.
Yeah, no, I also love how he just came into the meeting in a fucked up body. It was just a picture of his face taped onto the front of it.
Yeah, that was great. Like, I'm happy. Episode 2 left me feeling a lot better. Although, I thought they did the scene with the rape a lot better in episode 2. Like, the actual...
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. If we had that scene of like all these Nazis coming into this place and everyone cowering in fear and shit, and then we hit in with that, it would have been a good decline. We would have had like, been eased into it instead of it coming out of left field and hitting us like a truck.
Yeah, it would have certainly been better, but we're here where we are. But
Yeah.
no, the shots we were shown when Green Boy, which I don't know the name of yet because it haven't stuck yet, was explaining why the Itaden are not getting into their struggle and just showing shots of the Sultan or the Solon or whatever the fuck the empire's called, invading this town, burning, killing, and just raping, and that not being their struggle. It is the perfect description of why it is such a disconnect and how detached they are from humanity.
I feel like it's also supposed to allude to, like, how other countries viewed... Like, I might be looking a bit too deep, but it feels like it's alluding to, like, how other countries viewed World War II, how they didn't view it as their problem until, well, Japan went, hey, you have a nice harbor over there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah, I mean, it
maybe
could be
there's some
certainly
allusions to like America, like the Itaden with America in World War II, maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's more a thing with America. I'd say it could be seen as a commentary on it. Not towards America, more towards the countries that didn't participate in World War II. Or World War I or World War II, because it's just, they'd rather not fight a war. And so these people fighting is not their struggle on a technical basis. But even so, I wouldn't say it's a one-to-one relation, because even people who did not participate in the Great Wars were still affected by them.
I feel like we might be looking a little too deep into this show. I don't think this show is trying to say anything.
That's just me
Much.
knowing it's made by... That's just me knowing it's made by MAPPA, and MAPPA likes to do, like, more introspective properties, but that is,
I mean,
a metal.
But it is it is an anime. It is a it's. God damn it! That's actually perfect. Give me a second. I just need to say something. Like, MAPPA is not the writer. This is based off of an adaptation. And by the way, the person who wrote this is the same person who wrote
Interspecies
Interspecies Reviewers, as well as other doujin and hentai. So
and
I think we should.
Maid.
I think we should temper our expectations for, like, any sort of commentary here.
Yeah. I mean, from what I can say, well, everything doesn't need to be a commentary on real life. You can make a commentary on generalization, which I enjoy more because linking everything to something that's happened in real life is not something you always need to do. At the same time, I think the show is certainly going to have something to say. It's going to have something to say about the horrible things that soldiers do, as what they have done will never come to light because the victors write history, and, well, the victors of that fight with unarmed civilians in a village will be written by them.
Yeah, like, I think it's going to say some things, but what I'm trying to get at with what I was trying to say is it's going to say some things. I don't think it's going to say too revolutionary things. I think for the most part it's going to exist to be fun, trash, with lots of gore, and yeah. And we're just, like, making it so that it's like, yeah, no, these people are evil. Have no fear when they start getting slaughtered.
But they have real feelings. Look at the ending. She wants to get married. Ah!
How about you get married to this fucking shotgun barrel?
Anyways, are we ready for cards?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna fuck this show. I honestly don't know if I'm going to stay on to it or not, but so far, I love it. It's super stylistic. It's super... Like, it's homages to Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, the one doctor guy, he is just Dr. Gero, and I love it, because he's like, what if Dr. Gero was this fucking... What if Dr. Gero was comedic? And I like that. And it's just... It has a lot of allusions to old shows. Like, I'm sure there's even some Hunter x Hunter things we're missing. Like, Discount Gon is probably heavily based off of the design of Gon.
Oh my god. He is literally just a crossbreed between Gon and the main character of Log Horizon.
And
It fucking is!
I thought you were going to say My Hero for a second, Lewis. I'm not going to lie.
No! Definitely not.
Yeah, I was going to fight you because, like, no, he doesn't have curly hair. But yeah, either way.
He's also not a little bitch!
Midoriya gets really good character development, but that's a different time. I really dig this show so far. It might misstep at some point, but for now, I'm on the ride. I enjoy it.
As for me, I am going to set up a anti-tank rifle, and I'm going to load a bullet into there. I'm going to take aim, and I'm going to fire, and I'm going to fuck that Nazi with a bullet right through the heart. I'm good with this show. I want to see more. I can't wait for it to get off the walls and for the action to get cool and crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait for Hayato to just pull out the fucking full fucking Devil May Cry arsenal and get a super sexy, stylish combo on some Nazi demon bitches. It's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna fuck the show because Jesus fuck, it sounds like a wild ride, and it's kind of living up to the trailer so far. It's gotten a bit darker than I thought it would, but the shit that the trailer spoke to me is still being fulfilled, and I enjoy that.
Hell yeah. And with that is a trifecta for Itaden Deities in the Peaceful Generation, Episode 2. Let's move on to the...
Oh, sorry, I just want to say one more thing. I was so scared that I was going to give the first episode the knife, and I was going to end up accidentally killing this like Peach Boy. I'm so glad it is getting another episode out of us.
Haha. Let's move on to the Case Study of Vanitas, Episode 4. Kiyoya and Co. get their... Wait, that's the wrong show. Noe drinks his best friend's blood, and at the ball, Vanitas announces his presence before Jien grabs him and tells her to drink his blood. Or, wait. Oh yeah, Vanitas tells Jien to drink his blood. Many vampires at the ball begin to become curse bearers, all while Noe is confronted by Charlatan. This show is super sexy.
Oh, this episode was fucking steamy, my dude.
This is my favorite episode so far. I feel like this is what sold me on the show completely. Like before, I was pretty warm on it, but this is what sold me completely on it because it started setting up things that I'm really interested in. Like last time, it was setting up stuff with Charlatan, which I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And now it's acting on it. It's like, yes, cool. I'm happy it's acting on it. And the vampires, I do enjoy how their power kind of seem to come from drinking blood, like how Noe's power seems to come from drinking blood, and there's obviously something with Jian or Jenny, or however you say her name.
Yeah,
something
John,
with
the Fire Witch.
It's me.
Yeah.
Just remember that she shares a name with Polnareff, John Pierre Polnareff.
Jian? Okay. Jean Pierre.
No, it's I think her name is Janne. Because it's just it's kind of pronounced. It's fucking weird, but it's Janne.
Also, Vanitas totally is jealous of Noe and Dominique, right? Like, I'm not misreading that.
I think he mostly just feels like a third wheel sitting outside of the door while they're fucked.
Well, they basically throat fuck each other. Yeah.
Just the reason I say that is after Jeanne drinks his blood, he's like, I can see why he enjoyed it so much. I'm just saying here, like, Vanitas, I get that your boyfriend was getting throat fucked in another room, but now's not the time.
I don't think he's jealous. I mean, Vanitas generally just a saucy motherfucker.
Dude, I love how hard they're going on with the blood drinking equals sex thing.
I do too.
Vampires are sexual. Who fucking knew?
Dude, that scene at the end where John is sucking Vanitas' blood and he reaches out for the fucking coat like it's sheets that he's grabbing on.
Yeah.
Oh my! This is going a direction I did not expect.
This episode had me fucking enthralled. I did not write many notes in my fucking notes, but here's one of them. The show is very, and I mean very, sexual.
To quote my notes, holy shit, that was a sexy coded EP. Shit seems steamy, and then it's just keyboard smashes for 2 lines.
I understand vampire drinking blood equals sexy. It's usually done in most things, but this show goes an extra step with it, like Vanitas grabbing the sheets, Noe and Dominique throat fucking each other. I'm sorry, those two are definitely a couple, or at least there's some feelings there. Like Dominique saying, like,
weird dom-sub relationship between the two, absolutely.
Yeah,
saying
considering Domi
put her on a leash.
Yeah, Domi also said he was her husband, so...
Yeah, and then later she's like, oh, we're just best friends. And I think even Vanitas fucking mentions something to her about it. Oh, and then the scene where Vanitas is on the wheel and he's like, men only use women like you for one thing. I'm just sitting here like, Vanitas, don't talk about Noe's wife like this, you son of a bitch.
But here we don't know. Maybe Noe is just using her for the quick fuck.
I think Noe is just a poly disaster.
He's just generally a disaster. Like, how distracted that boy gets.
Dude, I'm here for this cast of disaster bisexuals. Let's go.
I want this to become a poly disaster relationship. I want Dominique, Vanitas, Noe, and Gian on the side. I can see it. Let's go.
I do want to say, I have never seen a character for that character chart which just has like a weird fucking shit for it. I've never seen someone so perfectly fit into the slot of fucks to survive as Vanitas.
Yeah, and I love that scene of Vanitas being like, you know what, maybe I have been going about this wrong. Jumps on the chandelier.
I love this over the top motherfucker.
Yes.
Every time he gets that look on his face, I'm like, oh, is he gonna do a big brain play? And no, he just continues being a fucking idiot, and I love it.
But here's the thing, he usually does big brain plays. Just they're kind of stunted by him being a fucking idiot.
It's like he goes through that great speech and then he just sort of like loses the flow completely at the end. It was so good.
Yep. Just alright, come on, step up. Anyone cursed?
I love, like, because they're talking, and Jian and him are having this vitriolic back and forth. And I'm like, okay, Vanitas, you're getting a little shady. Hold on, what's the deal with you? And he's like, I have been going on this a wrong way. And he steps on the chandelier. I'm like, wait, is he gonna I'm not gonna say that, but like, is he gonna attack this ballroom?
I have to say one more thing. Visual design. That chandelier looks straight out of Warhammer 40k, and I love it. It's like made out of spines and like skulls and stuff, all made out of gold. I liked it. It was cool.
Also, I haven't been able to kind of notice until this episode because of the general fucking character design that's enthralling me, but the background design in every fucking shot is brilliant. It's so detailed. It looks so fucking good. It is brilliantly made.
This is excellent. Like, yeah, design-wise, like, besides the fact that there's a couple too many shots, I feel like, where it's like zoomed out, or like faces are covered or whatever. Maybe it's because I realize that this is a thing that's cost-cutting or whatever. But like, yeah, I feel like there's a couple times where I'm like, okay, you can focus on the face a little bit more, but besides that, everything else is good.
Also, it's nice to see that, like, there are still vampires who have vitriol towards Vanitas. Like, Dominique's older sister has vitriol towards him, and then, like, even though she's clearly having some very odd feelings, Gianna still has some very mixed feelings towards him, and it's nice seeing, like, because we got confirmation. Vanitas wants revenge on the other Vanitas. So my theory from episode 1 was kind of correct.
Oh yeah, and we kind of forgot the whole thing where, like, yeah, it was confirmed that Vanitas is a vampire of the Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's important.
Wait, Vanitas himself is not a vampire, but he sure has a mark that marks him as part of the clan.
Okay, never mind. He's a member of the clan of the Blue Moon. Okay, they're not actual
vampires. Because he's still not a vampire, because he doesn't have any vampire powers, he just has magic of fucking alchemy and the book.
Also, I'd just like to apologize for the lawn mowing. I can't do anything about it. Sweet.
I can't hear it at all.
And I'm happy my theory got proved that, yeah, he wants revenge on Vanitas for something. That's why he's doing this. This will be my active revenge against Vanitas. And just thinking, like,
yeah, I mean, we now see the blue marking that is on his right arm, and we saw the scars on his left arm last episode. I mean, I think whatever Vanitas has done to him has physically disfigured him under those clothes in some way. And he does not want that, and that's why he wants to get revenge. I think it might be more than that, but I think that's whatever caused those injuries is also part of the reason why Vanitas doesn't like his progenitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this episode. This like, even at the end, seeing Noe fight with the two Plague Doctor guys and Charlatan with them, like, that was still really cool too. And I hope we get a really good fight scene last episode, because what we got with the Scarlet Witch wasn't really a fight.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was more of a outsmarting play of Vanitas, which Vanitas shouldn't outright fight people a lot because he is always at a disadvantage fighting vampires. Though Noe fighting people is gonna be good as fuck.
Yeah, like, what we got of the little fight with him fighting the Plague Doctor Voldo guys, because, like, you know, those guys were using the fucking weird-ass claw weapons that Voldo and Soul Calibur uses.
Oh, we also got info on how vampires came to be. There's something to do with rewriting the alchemic formula of humans.
Yeah, because mineral that powers the airship, we also got an explanation of how the magical technologies stuff work. It's because they rewrote the nature of coal, and it became a magical resource that could power things far better than anything else. And flowers also, but we didn't actually get an answer for what they do. And humans were also rewritten. We don't know if anything else got rewritten, but that's the thing they touched on.
Yeah, and I think the Book of Vanitas is the book that has the power to do that. Although
it certainly shares the same kind of symbolism they used in the thing they talked about rewriting things, and the Book of Vanitas has been shown to rewrite the true name of vampires. So, yes, it's clear that it does rewrite things, and it surely has the same power.
Yeah, and the show's just really interesting. The world building it's been setting up, I've been enthralled with.
Oh no, this show has got me fucking captured. It doesn't do nearly anything I have to complain about. The only thing that I was thinking was a complaint was like, okay, Vanitas is fooling around with this girl while everyone's going crazy and attacking everyone. And then I thought, wait a minute, that happened after he got whisked away by her. Of course he wouldn't know. Of course he'd be like, I see, we're here again. Let's get fucking sassy.
Wait, I thought he was... Okay, what I thought was... He knew that this was happening. And he knew that everyone was in danger and that we needed the power of the Scarlet Witch or whatever her name is. I don't remember. That's a fucking Marvel character, not her. And it was like, okay, I know that you're like, you need blood or else you're going to become a curse bearer or whatever because of the song or you're out of it. Come on, drink from me. Let's go. Get your power. Let's power up. Let's go save your boy.
He heard the song, and yeah, that's what kind of tipped him off, because he's like, you need my blood, don't you? You're going to become a curse bearer. And that's why she drinks it. And he's like, don't you want to save your son or your child, your master, whatever she calls him?
Yeah, and, I mean, he might know that something's happening either by... Because Vanitas acts dumb constantly, but as much as we call him stupid, he constantly has an ace up their sleeve, or is just acting stupid to make people underestimate him as he gets a read on things. And he might have already known there are curse bearer here, known that something would go down at this ball, and this is just him preparing, or the song might have tipped it on that something is going down and something big.
Yeah. Because he does say, like, Soul of Melancholy or something like that, but either way, this episode bumped Vanitas to my second favorite show from it being my third favorite.
I gotta say one thing, because apparently I got horny on the brain from this episode, but that scene of Vanitas getting his blood drank by John made me really want to see what Bones would do with a hentai.
Well, they'd go far that something to happen.
I'm just saying I'd want it. It looks like it'd be neat.
Listen, all I'm saying is that Vanitas definitely blew his load there. We're already 1/3 of the way done with this show. Wait, has it?
It's been confirmed for a second season.
Okay. I was more wondering if it's been confirmed for 12 or 24 episodes.
12 episodes this season. Next season we're getting another 12, I think, which is going to probably be next year.
Okay. I know I put it on my plan to watch, but okay. So we're already 1/3 of the way done with this show. I'm wondering if Charlatan is going to be an overarching villain, or if it's just going to be the villain of this cour.
I don't know. But, like, as of right now, on Mal, I have it as a 9 out of 10 already. And, like, it has to do some terrible shit to fuck it up right now. Because this is looking to be an all-time, personal all-time favorite for me.
Yeah, I think I have it as a 9 out of 10 right now, too. But are we good for cards?
I'm good for cards. I haven't started ranking anything on Mal yet, because I rank one of them, actually, but, that's a different thing.
That one probably died.
No.
I gave Detective Saying It's Dead Now a 3.
I gave Duke of Death a rating, but I'll go into that when we get to it.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
So we're gonna hold up cards, or
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
how about you boys go first?
all right, sure, I'll go first. Like I was mentioning, the show, I noticed even more things that just blow me away with the visuals of looking at the backgrounds of basically any shot and realizing these are fucking amazing. To go along with whatever is happening, and even just the landscape shots themselves are fucking beautiful and could be used as a fucking wallpaper.
The way that, sorry, just one last thing. The way that the spider webs sort of like come out of the moon in the vampire world looks so cool.
I love it. It's so fucking sick. And that's another part of just the background work. That's just a background thing that just exists in the vampire world. It's so cool. And just the story picking up, us, like, Noe kind of being creeped out by any ballroom masks after his experience drinking the girl's blood who had a run-in with a charlatan. That experience clearly shaking him. It's cool to see how such storytelling is also put in there in this show that is seemingly not very fucking subtle with what it does in any way, but I fucking love it, and I'm fucking the show. I cannot wait to watch more.
Same.
I am
Sorry.
also gonna give this show that deep dick pizza. And honestly, Dominique, oh, this episode stepped her up for me. She is, while not looks wise, she might not be completely my type. The way she acts, I want her to strap me to that wheel and spin me around. She makes me feel things. I am gonna give her that deep dick pizza.
I will as well. I will continue to fuck the twink boys, the hot girls, the everyone but the underage child, and I guess not the shadow monster as well.
But we have more than just the underage child. Now it's the underage children with the girl Vanitas gave a rose.
I'm not talking about background characters here. I'm talking about mains.
I think she might become a bit more of a main, considering she started screaming when the fucking song came on.
I mean, I think she's just gonna be like, here, save the girl. Look, a reason to not just go wholesale and just slaughter everyone at this ball. Look, there are children involved.
Nah. Like we went over in Peach Boy Riverside episode 1, kick the baby, kill the baby.
But yeah, I'm fucking this show. This show's great. I can't wait to see more of it. I hate that I have to watch it weekly. Please, I want to binge it. I want to read the manga so I can just read this whole thing and experience it.
Well, that is a trifecta for the case study of Vanitas, episode 4. Let's move on to Remake Our Life, episode 4. Kiyoya and co. get first place on their next short film, but Nanako's acting brings it down. Kase Sagawa pops off on her and for not following her true passion of singing, making Nanako depressed. But Kiyoya comes to the rescue and shows her the potential of her singing to cheer her up using the magic of auto-tune.
Actually, Meep, it's manual tune, because he did it manually.
I know, but it makes the joke funnier.
I know.
But yeah. I feel mixed on this episode, because I really liked it, but at the same time, it included some of the stuff something that I really didn't like. The pink-haired child, ?
Who runs a doujin studio?
Yeah.
Also, the pseudo beach episode we got at the beginning.
I mean, that was fine. At least the correct person got slapped this time.
We think. We don't know who actually got slapped.
No, we see him on the bus. He has a red hand mark after Kasagawa slapped him.
Did we?
Yeah. When he's on the bus, there's a large red handprint on his face.
Oh, I didn't remember there was a bus scene afterward. I just remember, like, after the slap, they were back in their town.
Because they're on the bus, and then Kiyoya goes, "Wait, are you still mad about the wardrobe malfunction?" She's like, "No, fucking no! Maybe."
I'm gonna be honest with you, boys. This episode felt ungodly boring. I didn't care at all during any time of this episode. It felt like everything I loved about the last episode was completely absent from here. Like,
Really?
it just felt like more slice of life bullshit that I didn't care about. Like, same exact feeling that I felt about Aquatope. Like, where it's just like, a lot of things are happening, but like, man, I sure don't care.
Is it because we didn't see the process of them making the film this time?
I don't know, honestly.
'Cause-
I have no idea what made me dislike this episode so much. I think because it focused so much on this character that I only have like a bare bones basic understanding of, that I've really not gotten any characterization of besides the fact that she's a tsundere who likes singing. I don't know.
We have a bit more about her than just that. Like, I actually really like Nanako. This episode and the previous episodes brought her up for me, and seeing her confront that she went into acting because she was scared of following her true passion, I don't necessarily fully identify with that, but it's definitely a real thing, and it brought emotions out of me. I really enjoyed that. It's just, there were also parts about this episode I just didn't like. The pink-haired lolly, the club stuff. Oh, the guy put in for a maid cafe. Okay.
We're gonna get a
we've been
fucking cafe episode entirely dedicated to it, and it's gonna be boring as fuck.
Yeah. Though Meep, you couldn't really relate to her picking another option from her dream. Hello, I'm the one who can relate as someone who gave up on his love and dream for going into video game development because it wouldn't be lucrative, and went for something else that he hated.
Yeah, I still really like her and her character. I like that. It's just I personally can't relate to it. But yeah, I totally get you. I really like Nanako, and I still enjoyed this episode. Even the small portion on the beach we got was fine. I didn't feel horrible because these characters aren't underaged, so I could, I won't lie, I ogled a little bit. The wardrobe malfunction, well, it wasn't funny. At least the right person got slapped this time, so I wasn't upset.
Yeah, I mean, to me that works much better than the other anime of, oh no, I'm embarrassed, I slapped someone. That is, he fucking yanked her bra off and he got fucking slapped. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, maybe, I kept having this feeling throughout this whole episode, and now it was like, this is how I'm going to start dealing with my knives, I think, at this point. I have watched this episode. This is the last episode that I watched. Did I come out of this with a good experience or a bad experience? And that'll decide whether or not I knife or fuck. Currently, if I'm at the point where, if this show dies, or, some terrible disaster happens where, this show can't finish, I'd be fine with what I got. I don't really need more. I'm not sure if I want more. And to be honest, this episode didn't give me any reason to, actually want more from this show. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a final statement very early.
Hey, I gotta be cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot vying for my attention right now in this show, in this series, and a lot that's good. And I feel like I gotta step it up and be a little bit more brutal than I was the first two episodes.
Yes, you might want to save that for your card reveal.
Oh yeah, sorry, I kind of jumped right in there.
I didn't want to have saying something. I love the red-haired girl in in the first episode when we saw her when she was an adult, and people are clearly not the same people they were in school as they are when they're adults. I do have to say the young red-haired girl is just kind of a bitch. just cross-analyzing everyone, judging their every fucking breath, and just straight up walking up and shitting all over someone's choices.
That scene was so awkward. That scene made me feel like I wanted to skip that scene so bad. Like, you seriously couldn't have done that? You couldn't have done that in a more public scenario. Come on. You couldn't have waited until after when you're actually in your goddamn dorm. Ugh.
I have a theory about that. I think the red-haired girl also traveled back 12 years. I think it wasn't just Kyoya, because that, like you said, that did feel out of nowhere. But this show has been pretty intentional with a lot of the stuff it's done. And
well, nothing about that hints about her being from the future, though.
Well, what I'm thinking is that when it comes to, because she obviously has a very, like, personal, like, thoughts and feelings about people not chasing their dreams, but she seems to be chasing her dream in the film. But something that we've also seen is Kyoya he's chasing his dream in a way still, but he still has those feelings of like, man, no, you should chase your dreams, kid. You can go places. And they're kind of both similar in that aspect, except Kyoya is a lot more nice about it. Red-haired girl is more bitchy about it. That's why, I don't know, that's what kind of got me thinking of that train of thought.
Well, her being encouraging for people to go follow their dreams in a very mean-spirited way doesn't mean she's from the future. It just means that she's very much of a... She has high expectations of people, and I don't know, I think that'd be a strange way for this show to go, because, I mean, she would remember Kyoya at this point. She would have known his full name. She would have remembered the guy she worked with, who he was a bit dense or a bit too unconfident in himself to actually make that relationship work between them that she clearly was interested in happening. Because as an adult in their adult lives, how much they were meeting up, it's clear that they had at least something wanting to be more than simply just co-workers, be that friends or be that lovers.
Either way, I'm interested to see where she goes, because this could also be a thing of maybe a big part of why their game got canceled in the future is her brash personality. Who knows? And I'm interested to see where it goes with that, because I definitely had a moment of, oh, I relate to this character when she was like, fuck, I fucked up. I want to leave. And she did. She tried to leave, and then Kyoya refused. Cough, cough, Makan. I wonder where I've seen that before.
I'll fucking kill you. If you want to leave, I'm here with a bare chest and a battle axe. Come on, fight me.
Yeah, that was a scene where I really related to her. Like, man, I feel that just saying something that you shouldn't have, like, fuck, my emotions got the best of me, I fucked up.
Yep, I mean, it's a mistake that is clearly going to be a hassle to deal with, but running away from your mistakes is never going to solve them. It's just going to leave that to fester. It's like a untreated wound that is deep enough that it won't heal on its own, but not so deep that it's irreparable.
Ooh.
And no, just I do hate how she acts as a kid. As an adult, she was a lot more understanding. She was a lot more caring, and I hope she becomes better, because as she's a very bitchy and very judgy about every fucking move someone does, and thinks she's in the right about everything. Oh. Then again, it's clear she can see when she does mistakes. Then again, I don't think she's able to see all of the mistakes she does.
It also might have something to do growing up with her sister, who's a teacher at this. Like, that, there is also the possibility that people were probably really critical of her when she was young, so she just sort of adopted that into her own personality. I'm interested to see if they do play into that at all.
Oh, that's definitely going to be a case. Living in someone's shadow is very fucking pressuring. Just some stuff I want to bring up as well that I found interesting. We got a statement of how big this school is, and holy fucking shit, the student body is 8,000 people.
Yeah, so I think someone in there would probably have a kid that they'd be willing to
Yeah, that's
throw in a
fucking
movie
huge.
for a bit.
That's fine. I don't know about schools in America, but that's a fucking ridiculous.
I mean, be fair, Harvard has, like, how many people in it? 10,000?
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a ritzy fucking art school.
Yeah, but Harvard is like the biggest fucking school in America, and they have almost the same amount. This school is fucking massive.
Yeah, Japan is the entertainment capital of the world.
Yes, I mean, I guess it's good that we've gotten a statement of how big and prestigious the school is.
And only 4 people are lucky enough to come out of that in an actual working form.
Yep. I mean, at least for that class.
Yeah, but, 4 for each class of 8,000 people. That's a lot of failures.
I mean, yeah. If you fucking thought about school, there's a lot of fucking failures that come out of school. It's just how it is. And I do want to say, 4 people out of each 100 people classes graduating and becoming something and getting a good job that is stable to them, that's a good margin for 8,000 people, because that's what, fucking 4, math 40, math help.
It's 4%, so if each class has 100 people in it and 4 people on average pass, that would be 4%. But yeah, like, I'm genuinely interested in the school and in the, like, in our main cast. Like I said, the club is club's a bit
Yeah. I mean, you say 4%, that's 4% of a class of 100. It's, no, I think my math's wrong. Never mind.
Yeah, I was saying assuming each class has 100 people in it. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I've made my points on it. I didn't like the pink-haired lolly introduction. Club is still to me. I hope if the Maid Cafe thing does happen, it's just like it's 2 minutes in this episode, we go here, we're having lunch, talking about movies and stuff, then, we move on to the actual meat, because I did like this episode. Anything that's plot-centric, I was enjoying, like, Nanako and her struggle of, no, I'm going to try and chase my dream now. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm with you with not liking the fucking pink-haired lolly, because at the same time, like, yeah, sure, there can be petite people even at that age, but no, that is clearly just a child.
That is a child, 100% underage.
Yeah, because, I mean, there can be petite and short girls in a certain age, but no, just her features are child.
And it came right after the guy said, I want a pink-haired girl to be the main maid. And then he gets stepped on again. Although, okay, that did cause a funny joke, the I'm not allowed to talk sign. That was funny.
Just fucking choked him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we ready for cards?
I am.
I've already given mine, so yeah.
I'm still gonna fuck the show. I mean, even though I either want to see the red-haired girl develop into a better person, or no, that's really the only thing. Seeing her get fucking shat on and left in the dust wouldn't be a good feeling either. She needs to develop as a person and become more mature for the show to be good for me again. It didn't ruin the show, but it's certainly dragged it down quite a lot.
Yeah,
and I still enjoy the experience as a struggle of her name was Nanako, right? That blonde-haired girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I deeply relate with it, and I think it's nice. I mean, meanwhile, I'm also tone deaf, but I have no interest in singing. It's still a good thing to try and work on the thing you might be bad at, but want to pursue. Because with a long enough work and experience, you will catch up to people who have a natural knack for something.
Mm-hmm. And
I didn't actually state it, but I am fucking the episode. I'm not killing it just because I don't like a character.
I'm also gonna fuck the show. Something I did forget to mention. I did like how we got that little bit of character, not development, but like that character moment with Nanako where her biggest thing is, oh, she slaps the person who she's upset with. Because that's what she's done since episode 1. She's about to slap Red Hair Girl, but stops because she knows, even though it's the wrong time, wrong place, what is being said to her is correct. And just instead she leaves, and like it was a hard scene to watch because you know everything that's being said to her is correct, but it's in an incorrect way. It's being told. Like the teacher handled it in a much more mature way. Just they stated it matter of factly, but it wasn't hostile. It wasn't like they weren't like going after her for it. It was like, no, it's just you weren't being serious about your acting. That's about it. And then the teacher left, and yeah, it's very dry, but. And I can kind of understand where her red-haired girl was coming from, where she was like, no, I need to get this through your skull, but time and place, lady. Time and place. But, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you.
I'm gonna kill it, because I just was bored this entire episode. And like I said, if, like, what I wanted out of the show was really emphasized in episode 3, like seeing that creative process in like a personal way, I think sounds incredible. I like that, and I liked the allusion to, like, you know, the time travel actually mattering a whole lot. We got none of that this episode. We just kind of got the trials and tribulations of one character that I barely care about. And also some weird sexual stuff that I wasn't quite so into. So I'm going to give it my first knife. I think this is my first knife I've given to this show, then.
Yep. With that is a double fuck and a kill for Remake Our Life, episode 4. Do we want to move on to Girlfriend, or do we need to take a little break?
I believe that we should take a break, perhaps. We've been going on for about 2 hours now.
Ready. And welcome back to Anime FMK. Let us go back to Girlfriend, episode 4. The Poly crew talk out their issues, and Naoya decides to ask more things of his girlfriends. Saki and Nagisa bond over Call of Duty Mobile, and during lunch at school, the evil booby streamer learns their secret and tells them that she will also peg Naoya.
Hey, it wasn't Call of Duty Mobile. They were actually playing PUBG.
Oh, they were?
They totally
PUBG?
were playing PUBG.
I don't know, it might just be me liking the game, but I'm like, let's give it some fucking Escape from Tarkov feels.
I love that.
Imagine Escape from Tarkov on phone. That'd be hell.
I'd rather not. That sounds painful.
See, I loved that segment, especially the fucking punchline of fucking Nagisa finally getting her kill, but her hand slips and she shoots Saki.
And when she shot her, I was like, hey, it's technically a kill.
This show continues to be what it is, and I love it.
I can at least say this. I've cracked the code. Nagisa is not an adorable little slut. They're both adorable little sluts.
Hell yeah.
I hate to say it, boys. I really do. But this episode, I was kind of feeling like, okay, we're doing the same thing we did the last 3. It's just this time with video games. Alright, cool. I wasn't too into this episode until the booby streamer got involved. And then I thought to myself, okay, it has one more chance to try to keep me in. As much as I fell off in this episode, like, with the introduction of a new girl and a new dynamic, this could inject the life that is needed into this series for me.
I hate to say it as well, but I agree with you on this. It is getting pretty fucking samey. As much as I have fun with it, it is still just screaming about being embarrassed and Nagisa being just the fucking model example of a housewife.
Yeah, I felt the Call of Duty mobile segment, or the PUBG segment, I guess, was pretty different from what they normally did, because Nalia wasn't involved. It was just the two girls, and I loved that segment. That's one of my favorite segments of the show, is just seeing them bonding and fucking Nagi. Like, I loved it when Saki's like, I'm happy I'm finally better better than you at something, and Nagisa's like, wait.
I don't know how to feel about that. And also, sorry about that, because I asked you, like, why the fuck are you calling her Saki? Apparently that is a nickname her best friend uses, but that's not a nickname that Nayo was using for her.
Yeah, I still really like the segment episode, because there were only 3 segments, and the one with the booby streamer was a good segment. I like how they were watching her video, so like, wait, the thumbnail fucking changed. Is that an outfit in our back? Is that our school uniform in the back of that? And just, I loved the last 2 segments. The first segment was okay. I mean, the one where they're talking things out with Saki. I thought that one was okay, but I did really like the PUBG segment and the booby streamer segment. That was great.
I do love the, like, please tell me more things I can do for you. And he's like, I've been a fool. Punch me. She immediately just decks him. What did you punch him for? Well, he asked me to.
Yeah. It was great. This show still knows how to keep the comedy going in a way that I love, even if it is formulaic. Formulaic isn't bad. If it still makes me laugh, I'm still laughing.
Yeah, but my problem is that it no longer made me laugh, and in fact, during the segment, halfway through the segment of the video games, I paused, left to get supper, came back, looked at it, and said, nah, and I watched an episode of fucking Breaking Bad in between finishing this. And I feel like that speaks volumes to where I'm at with this show.
Yeah. As for the, like, gameplay segment, I feel like it dragged. It wasn't very funny to me. Oh,
and I'd also like to point out, because I'm pointing out off-brands that are in this show now, one thing I missed last episode was that the Apple stand-in is called Cherry, and the game that they're playing is called Bandai. I have no idea how to say that. Biasdadis. That is the name of the game that they play.
Do you know what it's a knockoff thing of? Because I have no idea.
From the looks of it, it looks like PUBG, like when they're actually playing it and they have the UI on.
Okay.
I just love the simple change of YouTube to MeTube. It's like, okay, it's pretty straightforward, right?
I forgot about MeTube also.
I mean, if anything, they should have changed it to SusanTube. So it's because it's all about her fucking money.
I don't know. I really like the video game segment. It's one of my favorites from this show.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, can we just talk about how the main boy, apparently, even before he was in a poly relationship, just carried around a wad of cash on him at all times for bribe purposes?
Yeah! Carried out 200,000 yen just to keep your mouth shut.
By the way, I fucking love it. This show has done it a few times, but it's a running gag that I love. He has spent his life savings 3 different times now. Like, every time he pulls out his life savings, it's like, I'm just sitting here going, wait, didn't you spend it again? Wait, why am I questioning this show?
But here, considering he has spent his life saving 3 times over, that means that it's a regular thing for him to spend his life saving, which means this guy makes mad cash, and he just keeps saving up for his life saving constantly. He just has 200,000 yen in it every time.
Hell,
where does he get the money?
This boy's stacked.
Well, because he's in the mafia.
He must be, because he's carrying around a lot of bribe money. Like, he's must be responsible for, like, drug smuggling or something.
Yeah, he knows how this works. He buries bodies for a living, and not in a graveyard.
I'm really excited to see what dynamic the booby streamer adds. I still really like this show, and I'm sad you two are falling off.
I'm falling off, but I honestly believe that this new girl will bring me back in. Like, A new dynamic is what is needed to resuscitate the show for me.
So you think?
I think the blonde-haired girl is not gonna be what brings it back for me. I think it's when Saki's friend gets involved, because I feel like she's gonna be the straight man of the group, and I feel like this dynamic of fucking idiots needs a straight man to keep them in check.
Fair, and that could be enough to... I don't know. Maybe that's enough to bring me back in. I don't know.
I go in this for this. This is my comedy show. I'm like, okay, what's my week of dumb? What is my 20 minutes of dumb fun gonna be this week? Oh, they're paying Call of Duty Mobile. Oh, and Nagisa's bad at it. There's some comedy in here, I'm sure. Then she shoots Saki. Like, my hand slipped. Fucking fails shooting someone AFK. Fucking, it's great. I love it. Fucking the show.
Alright, well, I think we're on cards then, if that's the case. I do want to say, I love how this fucking blonde-haired girl, I mean, yeah, there's always, like, the blonde-haired tsundere with a fucking fang, but she actually has two fucking very pronounced canines.
She's a vampire, goddammit.
Yeah, she's just a fucking vampire.
That'd be fun. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, Vanitas is gonna come and kick down the door and fucking cure her true name or whatever.
Me, personally, I loved this show for 4 episodes. It's the first episode that's kind of had a dip in quality for me. Like I said, I watched an episode of fucking Breaking Bad in between the beginning and end of this. But I have faith that this new character is going to reinvigorate it for me. So I'm going to give it a very tentative than I have before fuck.
And despite my complaints I had about the show and how it's kind of been losing me, I still had fun with this episode. It still made me laugh. I did something similar to Limis. I kind of paused it when I did something, came back to my computer and went, I'll come back to this in a bit and watch like a YouTube video in between. But I still enjoyed my time watching it, and I'm still looking forward to watch the next episode, so I'm still gonna fuck it. It's not as much of a happy fuck as the other ones have been, but I still want to watch it.
Alrighty. That is a trifecta for Girlfriend. Let us move on to The Duke of Death and His Maid, Episode 4. Alice catches a cold as it starts to snow, and the next day, her and the Duke play outside. She loses her earrings, and the Duke, with the help of a flame witch, find it. The witch leaves after the Duke mentions her being fond of her friend, and Alice reminisces about their childhood. This episode kind of brought me back around a bit. I liked the world building they did with the witches here. They have witches summits. Men are apparently called magic users, but also witches in some respects. I enjoyed the world building they did with the witch here. It kind of brought me back a little bit.
I have a question. Is this during this time of the Salem witch trials, or is it modern day? Because this motherfucker name drops the Matrix in the middle of the snow fight.
From the Japanese I could hear, and what little I understand of it, that's a translation thing.
Oh, that sucks.
I was gonna say I think this is supposed to be modern day, but the witch trials still happen because witches actually exist.
It doesn't seem modern. It seems a bit older in time.
Yeah. Maybe
like the 1900s.
You think this man would maybe get into like a couple fucking Skype calls or something with people being all isolated?
Yeah, like you'd probably have some sort of technology, but there is none.
Like, I just said that because I know it was an offhand joke, but that's an offhand joke that actively fucks with the world building. Because what time is it? Because The Matrix is a modern movie that came out in the 2000s, meaning that if it has to be there, it's at least the 2000s then.
Yeah, but I mean, from what we've seen in the fucking timeline of the technology of everything, it clearly fucking isn't.
Yeah. Like, going out into like, the last episode with the town and such, very much no.
Yeah, no, there's no technology. I mean, this is kind of in the, like, witch trial period. I mean, it's clearly not modern.
Yeah. I feel like I was mostly just saying that as a way to, yeah. Mostly to just poke fun at that joke that just kind of screws with a bunch of things.
Yeah, they should have. It's a bad translation, that they should have translated it more directly because it works better that way.
Like, that is so unnecessary. And I think it shows
like,
you. And I think
it's just,
that shows you what I think about this episode and what happened in it by the fact that's the only thing I can find to talk about it.
Yeah, it's the haha funny pop culture reference. You don't need to make a fucking pop culture reference. Stop it.
I'll be honest, I didn't even think about the Matrix reference until you just brought it up. I think my brain just deleted it out of history. I like this episode. Like, I enjoyed the world building they did with the witches. I still enjoy the Duke and Alice's relationship. The episode was just really... Oh, it's another one of those shows I just watch and I relax. Although I did think the whole Alice having a cold, that was gotten over rather quickly, but I guess that was just a chapter they had to adapt to lead it into the fact that it's going to snow. Mm-hmm.
You don't need to give someone a cold just to emphasize that we're going to snow. It was so quickly over. It's just a fucking quick and easy way of like, oh, her personality changes when she's sick. Whatever. It was brought up and then dropped, and didn't really matter, and it didn't do anything, and it was just wasted fucking time, and yeah.
I still like this episode.
Well, yeah, the world building with the witches and the red-haired girl was quite interesting. She said that the male witches are still called witches, but she'd refer to them being called magic users because the word witch has a female connotation.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of all I have to say. It's more sexual harassment jokes, boy getting flustered. Show doesn't really go anywhere except for the world building with the witches. Doesn't reveal anything about who cursed him.
I thought it was sweet, them hanging out outside, having that snowball fight, and just being able to hang out in a way that doesn't involve, personal contact. And I enjoyed seeing him try and get that earring for her. You can tell he genuinely cares for her.
I mean, yeah, but we could have already told that before with him literally fucking confessing his love to her.
Multiple times in multiple episodes.
Yep. And the show is still acting like he hasn't.
I mean, no, he has. He's just showing different displays of affection to her because that's how life is. You don't just say, I love you once and then stop. It's...
No, I know, but the show acts and in his inner monologues like, I still need to... maybe she thinks I hate her. Maybe I haven't confessed properly yet, even though he has multiple times.
Just his own anxiety, from at least the way I see it. Thinks that he hasn't done it right because he doesn't have much. Yeah, he doesn't have much social skill.
It's sure, agreeable, but it's just annoying. It has no fucking purpose.
I can really say that it doesn't bother me.
I'm getting the same feeling from this show that I've gotten from this episode's talks about Aquatope and Remake. but more so because it's happened every episode now, where it feels like nothing happens of note, really. It's a bunch of soft romancy BS and sexual harassment, and then the show's over, and I'm just sitting here like feeling like I got 20 minutes of my life wasted again by the show. I don't know, man. It's just super not interesting to me in any way, shape, or form.
Yep. While me watches this to relax, I watch this and reminisce of my time back in Nam when I had my fingernails pulled up with the tongue. Even though I was never in Nam. Yeah, no, it's... This show is just annoying, painful, and so boring to me.
You think that's cards?
Yeah, let's bring up cards. I'll just say my piece on it. The sexual jokes, harassment jokes are getting grating and fucking annoying. The story goes nowhere. It's sure there's some more building between the relationship between the two of them, but really that's not a story. That's just character development that should be happening while the story is actually happening. But 4 episodes and the most we've gotten is like, there are more witches than the one cursed you. Bye! I hate it. Fucking die.
What would have maybe saved this show? What would have maybe made it to a point where I would want to continue on with it? It's just not going to happen. Like, I was hoping after the first episode that, like, we'd get something of him trying to break the curse. We've gotten the most that we've had in this episode, and that's by the fact that he's just talked to a witch, and that's it. It's like, it would stand some chance in hell of, like, engaging me if that's what the show is actually about, but it seems like it's not going to be. So, like, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do with, like I did with the rest of the episodes. I'm gonna kill it.
And I'm gonna fuck it. The world building brought me back a little bit to it. The more I watch it, the more CG I've actually been enjoying. And just the relationship between the two of them is just really nice and sweet. I like it. I like the show.
I don't judge you for liking the CG, me. The CG is fine. It's a bit too choppy for my liking in the animations, but the actual models and the way they emote and the way they express and stuff, it's great. If more shows want to use this because it's cheaper, I'd welcome it heartily.
Yeah, I honestly do also think the best thing about the show is its use of CGI. Like, it's... Yeah. Like, one thing I can praise endlessly about the show, like, is that it's CGI, it's good, it's probably cheaply made, and it's probably not overworking its staff. So big props to that. Sadly, story-wise, it's not meeting up to what I want. But yeah, is that it? We gonna move on?
Yep, that's 2 fucks and a knife, 2 knives and a fuck.
For the Duke of Deafness Maid, Episode 4. Let's move on to The Dungeon of Black Company, Episode 3. Ninomiya and Wanibe go through a brainwash boot camp and manage to stave off the brainwashing with drugs. Then they are put under the care of the famous hero who learns their secret, but with the power of slander, blackmail, and fake news, they extort her to join their ranks.
I just love that fucking string of words, meme. Slander, blackmail, and fake news. You kind of fucking changed your tone of voice as well for the fake news. That's great. I do want to bring up the first thing in my notes I wrote down. I noticed the episode name this time. The episode name is Crimson Sphincter.
Oof.
I just want to put that out there.
I don't know why it's named that. I saw that too, but nothing in this episode correlates to that.
I thought they called it the Crimson Sphincter because that was the cave that they were in. I thought...
Maybe.
Or was that the name of the episode? Did
I
they?
think that was the name of the episode.
What's the name of
What?
the episode?
It was a bit random at the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's foreboding, and then they never did anything with it. I'm like, oh, okay then. Well, funny name either way. But I do love the big brain play of it. Just like, can't get brainwashed if we're already brainwashed. Taps forehead.
Yeah, it's like.
I have,
Sorry, go me.
I have literally nothing to say about this episode, so I'll let you two gush over it.
It's just like good classic storytelling. Setup, payoff. Set up the concept. Rin's hungry. Look at this confusion grass. This is what it does. Listen to the whole yes, thank you, sir thing on the tape. All these things are set up. We get some more expanding on what's happening in this episode. Payoff. Confusion grass is used to negate the brainwashing. Rin comes back and saves his ass when the hero lady is going to try to kill him for talking with the ant and stuff like that. Plus also like more scheming from Ninomiya. It's just kind of a baseline good for me. It's nothing special, but like
It just
I just
continues
kinda like
the
it.
good. It just continues the good things this show has already set up. It continues with Ninomiya being a scheming motherfucker, sorting himself out and not really caring about helping other people, except for the ones that are directly linked to him or the ones under his employ. To say, I wouldn't say Wanibe is his friend. He uses Wanibe.
Yeah, Wanabe is a tool.
Yeah. Wanabe is a tool, one that he has been honing and one he'd rather not lose to being brainwashed, so he makes use out of it. He's also the one person he's kind of built a friendly rapport with, or someone who at least seems to have a friendly rapport or looks up to him, which is useful for him as a stranger in this world, as he knows a lot more than him. But just also the brainwashing camp, how he manages to get out of it and just fucking launches Wanabe when he fucking punches him. Either that's just a joke thing, or Ninomiya is getting pretty fucking strong from his relentless hard labor he has been forced to do.
Oh, I do have one complaint with the show, with this episode. The hero lady. Her design is butt ugly. I don't know why. She looks bad.
Really?
Her design is straight out of Fire Force. That's what it reminded me of.
Do we have a picture of her that I can put up? Actually,
Yeah,
no.
I do. Yeah, no, we have a screenshot of her face. That's the first screenshot I took.
Oh, okay. I should throw it up there, but as you can see, I don't know what I don't like about her. I think it's the fact that everyone looks dry. She looks greasy. Like, she looks like she's bathed in grease compared to everyone else just because of how much shine is on her face, how rounded everything is. I think the eyes do something for it well. There's like a star shape in it.
With the grease feel, I can definitely get that from her hair because of the like pattern. I don't know if that's a discoloration or just a shine, but yeah, it definitely looks a lot more shiny than anyone else.
There's just a little bit too much blue. I don't know. It's just like her. I hate her design so much. I didn't like looking at her.
Yeah, no, like the first shot I got of her, I thought she looked off and I didn't quite like it, but at the same time, after looking at her for a while, I do kind of enjoy her design. It's a unique and it's not like any other else. It's clearly unique and does its own thing.
I wouldn't call it unique.
Well, I haven't seen a fucking like face shape structure like hers in an anime before. It's certainly different than anything else I've seen.
It feels like she doesn't fit, and maybe that's a part of it. Like, she doesn't fit with the common working class like Ninomiya because she's so uppity and like so brainwashed for the company. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching.
No, but you have a point. I think the problem is her hair having those kind of like the high like a diamond crown highlight around it. It's really off-putting now that you mention it. Yeah. because everyone else's hair is just, it looks like hair.
Yeah,
not
looks like hair.
Glistening and shiny. And like a fucking hat. Maybe she's bald, maybe it's a toupee.
That'd be funny. I'd actually like that.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Also, the episode is not called The Crimson Sphincter. That was the name of the
okay.
It's actually called Fun at the Corporate Training Trip.
Alright. Guess me and Meep just thought that was the name episode because it appeared.
Yeah.
A name of the episode because it appeared next to episode 3 in the cave or something like that.
Yeah, it would have appeared next to it. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say besides... Yeah, this is about the level. This is the baseline level of what I expect from the show. And honestly, it's nice. I like it. I think it's funny. I think it's just a baseline 7 out of 10 good.
Yeah. I feel like it really, the show this episode really emphasized how powerful Rim is. That she's able to beat the fuck out of this hero in a single hit. And I'm surprised, just like, well, alright, you have her captured now. She could just tell anyone. Guess you're just gonna kill her. But it's just like, I don't know, I guess blackmail would be a more profitable way of doing it, huh?
Because he's a crafty bastard, and I love him for it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, easy ways to kill her, but sure, like, fucking conscript her into your company through blackmail and make her do your dirty work. I mean, that's brilliant.
Rin continues to be best girl.
She's really fucking cute.
I like the little transformation she gets when she's like kind of powering up and she's like a little bit more mature and stuff like that. Like,
I'll be honest, we need to get her some actual clothes, so because it's weird just having the fucking scales covering up the tits.
A bit weird, but I'm glad when she's in pseudo lolly mode that she's covered up like almost all the time. Thank you. Please, don't make this weird.
The cloak is covering everything up. I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that.
What, you don't want Demon Lord Malim, but again?
Who now?
Character from Reincarnated as a Slime.
I see. I haven't watched that yet.
It was the one Dal would always call the one girl from Full Dive, and I still don't see the resemblance at all.
Alright.
And I don't know why, but I find the fact that like all of her limbs are like scaly up until a point, almost like stockings or like gloves or something. I don't know. I really like that. Something about that's a nice design for me. I don't know.
It is a very appealing design. It kind of gives like the illusion of having clothes while not, and it's interesting.
It's appropriately monster with appropriately human, I think. I like it.
Yeah, it's appropriately monster, while monster wouldn't wear a cloak, being naked, just having a cloak, because fucking, you can't just have them full butt bare naked, because that would not be good. But at the same time, just being like, yeah, no, that gives us human brain go, that's clothed, while being naked.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I'm ready of course, because I think you and I discussed our enjoyments of the show. It really did nothing bad for me, really. I fucking loved it. And I feel like that's going straight into it. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking show it. Keeps doing nothing bad for me. It's I wouldn't say it's a fantastic show that it's a 10 out of 10. It sure isn't. I would agree with the limits to a certain extent that it is. Yeah, no, 7 out of 10. I'd probably put it an 8 out of 10 for me, but yeah, it's good. It's not one of the greatest, but it keeps being consistently good.
I share the sentiment. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I'm gonna fuck it. You go, Meep.
It continues to do absolutely nothing for me. I felt dead inside watching the entire episode. I'm gonna kill it. I can't even make any witty jokes like I did with Kuma Bear. I just... it's gonna get the knife from me, Chief.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to make you watch more of it, Meep. But understand you also do this to me with Duke of Death.
Understand you did this to me with Vivi. That's his payback.
So Vivi's actually a good show.
Not for me, it ain't.
Anyways, that is two fucks and a knife for Dungeon of Black Company, Episode 3. Let us move on to Sonny Boy, Episode 2. The children end up on an island in another world. Things start erupting into blue flame, and people blame Castle Girl. Main Boy finds her missing cat and speaks with her, while Rebel Girl and Gamer Man learn that the fire is due to the island's rules. Rebel Girl reveals her power and lets her see a way out.
I really like this episode. I feel like it did a concise. I feel like it's going to be like a more episodic thing of them finding themselves in a new space and having to contest with this new space's new rules that are already in place. They just need to figure out what they are.
One thing, so there's a lot about this show that frustrates me, and this is something that I figured out that I really don't like this show does. The main conceit of the show is a bunch of high school students get a superpower, but no one ever uses their superpowers. And granted, we're only 2 episodes in. They might use them more later on, but like the one part of the show that actually has a chance of hooking me doesn't really get used. I mean, Castle Girl uses her superpower, but it's just she can order things from Amazon.
Maybe. What do you mean no one uses their superpower? The fucking guy who was with the radio can make like toys and everything with his superpower. She does. The fucking red shirt boy with the white shirt over it has been flying around trying to explore and find something, but he can't find anything. We see him just constantly just kind of come in from above, just front flip into a conversation like, yo, what up?
Was that one guy's superpower, the video game guy? I thought that was just a gadget. I thought that was just a gadget.
That's a superpower to make the toys.
Yeah. I thought that was a gadget that Rebel Girl bought for him.
No, because that was his entire... His entire explanation with the toys was that he made the toys with his power, and he was explaining the laws of the rules of that, and he figured out that if you give something to someone for free, it bursts into flame. And he gave something that he made to the Compass Girl for free, and it burst into flame.
I stand corrected. It's just the people's powers aren't cool.
Well, they aren't fully explored yet either, and I mean, sure, superpowers don't always need to be the most fucking Itaden deities run at the speed of sound and kick someone's chest in. I mean, sometimes it is more subdued. Creating toys out of nowhere is still a superpower.
Well, maybe I want to see someone do that in this show. Huh? Maybe I want to see Rebel Girl kick a hole in fucking Starboy's chest.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll club his fucking head in with a baseball bat. We don't need superpowers to do that.
Because his superpower is clearly some kind of illusion, make people see themselves but dead thing. I don't know. I guess people do use their superpowers in this. It just feels like they're not important. Maybe that's why.
Lemus, what's your thoughts on it? You've been quiet.
I've been quiet because I have opinions about this show.
Well, sure.
I heavily believe that when it comes to watching shows, certain media and stuff like that, and certain stories, sometimes you can watch them whenever. Sometimes there's a certain time and place that you need to watch or read or play something in order to get the full effect of it. What I'm seeing right now with Sonny Boy is I am desperately wanting to fall in love with it, but I just am so confused at the moment where I can't. And I think what would be best for me in order to properly enjoy this show is, like, I don't want to watch it week to week. Like, I really don't want to watch it week to week. I want to binge this, like, seriously bad, because I feel like I'm going to lose the plot every week that I come back to it. Because this episode felt like it made no sense to me. Despite the fact that there are things that are happening and there are themes that are obviously being explored that I think would be awesome.
Why didn't the cat burst into flame, Marcus?
Fire resistant.
Oh, alright.
I mean, the kids can't light on fire and die. But yeah,
I mean, from what I understood, the mansion girl didn't bring the cats in. The cats were at the school, so I guess they're under the same rules as the kids.
The kids have sex. One of the kids comes on the other. The cum lights on fire. You lit a fire in my crotch, literally.
That's the most childish fucking thing, man.
I don't think it's anything organic, though. Like, everything that burns is inorganic.
I mean, no, it was just... The rule was just anything given freely to someone else.
I'm gonna have to...
Does that mean that sex has to be prostitution on that island? You're welcome. I ruined the show for you.
I don't know how to proceed from this. How do we go? Are we holding up cards? Does anyone else have any other input?
No, we're not yet. It covered... This episode covered quite a few interesting things. While the first episode was just full-on confusion, which I loved experience, in this episode had some more concise story beats. It was dealing and revealed a lot more about some of the characters. How there was a rigged school election. How one of them is the girl that's been with the Star Boy was the one who got into the school presidency by rigging the election, and I think the girl who's in the mansion is the one who got shafted because of it, or she's simply one spreading rumors because she knows about it. And their entire conflict between them, and she decided to being shut off because of that. Just a general... No, go on, me. I'd rather want to hear some retaliation on this.
I was gonna say, as far as the other girl went, something interesting to me is they made a comment about her with the teacher. Was Castle Girl fucking the teacher? Because they made a comment saying, like, it'd be a shame if this got out about the teacher. I was like, what?
I mean, the teacher being compliant about her spreading, slandering someone's name, using the school's Wi-Fi. It's breaking school regularities, and it's, as a teacher, you're supposed to stop that kind of thing, and it's grounds for getting fired.
Well, no, I mean, like, not in the flashback, but when they're on the island, because doesn't Starboy say, like, oh, well, you lost the teacher, do you really want to lose this too? I'm just...
Yeah,
I heard that kind of...
Yeah, I mean, that's the same teacher who she was in that room with, and it's clear that that teacher being a thing that was kind of making her pause then means that this teacher means a lot for her, either as a parental figure, simpler teacher she liked, or it could be a lover. I'm not sure yet. No one can really be sure yet.
It just lingered on the ring on his finger a little bit in the actual flashback too. That was kind of, I don't know. There's just a couple of shots of the show.
I mean, the ring is definitely an interesting point. Either because she also wore a similar ring, which she also was rubbing. Either it's the fact that they were engaged somehow. That'd be fucking weird. Or just the fact that when he died, she picked up his ring, or if he got lost without a trace, she made a ring that's similar to him, his to wear to remember him by.
I mean, they didn't, giving rings to each other doesn't have to be just for engagement, They could have just been close couples and be like, hey, let's get matching jewelry. Hell yeah.
I mean, that's true, but rings have a connotation.
Yeah,
there's also
the connotation behind where they're putting their rings, where they both have white rings going around their left hands. That also means aromantic, but hey, I don't think that's what they're supposed to be.
Fair. Also, as far as only inorganic things burning, that's actually not true. The tree was burning.
Trees are organic. Oh, yeah.
That's my point.
Okay, sure. Makeshift flamethrower, let's go, boy.
But here's the thing. The tree started burning. The tree that burned was the one big one tree that was, like, talking to her, which is probably always on fire. So I think that's a different thing, maybe. But I don't think the organic or inorganic part of it has a point. I think it's just things being received freely or not. Because they didn't talk about inorganic or organic.
Okay. Also, just while I have the time, I do want to say, after we did the stream that one day, I did go back and rewatch the first episode, and I do think it was the mindset I watched it in. I still didn't like the first episode, but the stuff I watched made sense. It felt jerky. Like Cap slamming the guy with the baseball bat felt like it came out of nowhere.
In that hand, I also have to say that I absolutely was over in love with that because this was the first show that I watched before we started the FMK. So I think I was super hot on it because of that. And recency bias of it being the first thing that I watched clouded my judgment when I was talking about it last episode too.
Didn't cloud my judgment in any way. I think the first one I watched was either Duke of Death or Aquatope.
Yeah, but you've also been on the show before.
Yeah, but okay. If we want to talk about the last season, I was on the first show I started watching was Seven Nights.
And we both hated that one.
That's a mediocre piece of shit from start to finish. God, I had a lot of fucking problems with the first episode of that. Jeez.
Although, what I can say, recency bias, I don't think can help with a bad show, but if it's with an all-right show, recency bias can help with it. Like, I had that with what show was it in winter? I think it was Cells at Work. I think it was Cells at Work that happened with that winter, because from what I remember, me and you talked about Sonny Boy a little bit more when I was over at your house. It seemed like you still liked it, but you were able to recognize that watching it first did sort of elevate that a little bit. Am I correct in saying that?
Lemis.
Sorry, I spaced. What did you say? Can you say that again? I'm sorry, I spaced out. Something distracted me.
I said that it seemed like more that you thought you still liked the show, but watching it first elevated it more for you.
Yes, I think absolutely did. To the point where I would viciously defend it to any point. As in, this was the hill that I'm going to die on. And I still think I'm going to love it when I watch it, when I go through it all the way. It's just... Now I'm like, I don't want to watch this while I'm also watching 8 other shows.
Yeah, this definitely does strike me. Yeah, this definitely does strike me as something that's probably best when binged. Like, it leaves you with something like, oh, okay, what's the next episode going to be like? Like, I'm interested to see if it does go for that episodic structure. I was ready to hate this episode a lot more because I saw the title was Aliens. I'm like, oh, is it going to reveal that aliens put them in this dimension? It's fucking stupid. Then I watched it. Wait a minute, there were no aliens.
There was no fucking naked green fucks.
It's gonna end like that one ending from Silent Hill 2 where they open up a door and it's like a dog at a control panel. It was you all along.
Lord, are we ready for cards?
Yeah.
I am.
I'm gonna kill this show. I'm definitely not as hateful to it as I was last time. Even with the first episode, it was just more that it was one of the last things I watched, and I was already frustrated with it and just compounding. But watching that episode again and then this episode, it's more that it just doesn't do anything for me, and some of the events seem a little bit jerky. Like, they just kind of jerk not out of nowhere, but just jerk like, oh, that's a fucking 180 twist, or 180 shift. It feels like Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, it's like, the tone seems like it's drifting a lot more.
Oh,
like,
okay.
When Cap, like I said, when in first episode, when Cap fucking clubs him over the head with the bat, it's like, I guess this makes sense. He's drunk with power, but that just kind of came out of left field.
I think it made perfect sense for him to just fucking club a guy once he's figured out that how his power works, essentially rendering him powerless and getting power stripped from you, then put back onto you, and then someone is threatening to strip away from you again, and from someone who is as power hungry as Cap is. Makes perfect sense he would, resort to lethal violence.
Like I said, it makes sense. It just feels like it came out of it felt like it came out of left field.
I don't know, like, violence should hit fast, hard, and suddenly. That's how violence works, at least to me. My part of my opinion of the show, I'm gonna continue fucking it. I've been enjoying my time with it, and I at least hope we get to see more places than just this island, and seeing how new and interesting places work with their rules. Because if it's just this island and then learning to live on this island, it's not gonna be so fun.
With the way that it reset the island, I feel like it's going to be home base.
Unfortunate.
Limits?
Limits?
See, now I feel like I'm in a place where I know what I want to vote, but I feel like I'm going to be an asshole if I do. Because, like I said, I feel like there is a time and place where I'm going to watch this show and I'm going to love it. And I feel like when I'm already watching 8 other shows is not the right time and place. So I'd rather not continue watching it because I didn't like this episode. Because I didn't... Okay, let me try to recontextualize what I want to say.
No one's going to blame you for your vote.
I don't want to have to sit through the show while I also have to think about other shows. I'm absolutely going to watch more of it, and I've liked what I've seen so far, but, like, I don't think I'm going to contribute to the conversation or anything if I keep watching it. I don't know. My opinions on the show are weird, unwieldy, and hard to explain.
You don't want to watch it weekly. It's pretty simple. It's a show that you feel would work best binged, and if that's a reason for you to want to kill it, then I don't think anyone here would blame you.
Then I'm gonna throw it up on the board, and I'm gonna kill it.
It's personal judgment. If you want to kill a show, you want to kill a show. There doesn't really need to be more reason than that.
And now we have a wheel.
It's a wheel. They could both die. They could both live. Who knows?
Please be the one I hate.
Oh my god, if it wins, Duke of Death is absolutely getting the Lich Award.
Isn't it already?
I want it to get the Lich Award, Limus. That's what you didn't understand. I want it to.
Listen, man, I gotta vote with my heart, and I really don't want to have to watch another episode of Sonny Boy and, like, have to wait through it like I don't, and watch it in a way that I'm gonna hate it. I feel like we should have some sort of music for this, for the wheel.
Just search up Total Drama Island wheel spin theme.
Oh gosh. I mean, if we do that, we're probably gonna get fucking banned.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows? But the wheel's up. Let me change it up.
Could you also put the wheel up on Discord, because the stream is so behind?
Okay, sure. That makes sense. Why have I not been doing that? Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Here we are. Here's the wheel. There we go. It took forever, but I got it. Let's go. Spin to win.
Come on, Duke. Fucking die. Shit!
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I take blame for this.
Meep, I'm swimming over to Canada right now. I'm gonna fucking strangle you in an oil barrel.
I'm sorry, everyone. This was my fault.
No, it's Meep's fault for not killing Duke.
Oh, this has been...
No, You all knew that I liked Duke.
You shouldn't.
You had ample warning.
We've been over this, Meep. You have bad taste.
Can we agree that the best antagonist of the season has been the wheel so far?
Yes. No, we can't actually, because we have some pretty good antagonists this season.
Big detective last week.
I'd rather it kill Duke.
Well, Sonny Boy, you're a good show. Don't take it personally, but, like, I just can't week in and week out with you. I'll be back, man. I'll visit your grave.
I'll be there to give you flowers until, like, fucking 3 months later I'll dig up your corpse.
But, yeah. What about that, boys? You think that's our episode?
That's indeed our episode. Fuck.
Depression.
I have to watch more, dude. No.
Oh god, it's been on the wheel every time, and it's invaded death every goddamn time.
Let's speak Duke, and Duke and either Black Company or Remake are going to be on the list, and Duke will survive again.
No, dear God, no.
Listen, I'm going to make sure, I don't care if I have to fuck a bad show, I will make Duke die next week.
Thank you.
The gallows is over its head. It will come down.
I don't care whatever show goes after it or anything, or if any show is bad enough to die after it. I just don't want to watch any more of this garbage.
Well,
hey, maybe next episode of Duke is gonna blow me away and change my opinion entirely. Probably fucking not.
Why couldn't have landed on both? Why couldn't we have gotten a double kill this week?
That'd be fantastic.
I feel vindicated. In my decision.
You shouldn't.
Alright, so boys, from what we've seen so far, like, I kind of want to do this after every episode, everything that we killed. Number score. Now that it's dead, if you were to give it a number score, what would you give Sonny Boy?
At this point, a 6. I can see a lot of things happening with it, but it hasn't done anything too big yet. I wouldn't have much of it I want to judge, so I mean I could only judge it that it looks like it's going in a better direction.
Sonny Boy? Before Peach Boy, I gave a 6.
Yeah.
And I'd give Peach Boy probably a 7. I didn't really think about rating the ones we've axed so far. Detective, solid 5.
It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing that I thought about because I thought it would be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting thing to have, actually, after a show dies. Just say what the score we personally have for this.
Peach Boy, at that point, I would have given a 6, but I am planning on watching more of it, so yeah. That's a 6, but could change. Detective, I gave Detective a 3, because I thought it was just flawed in every deep way. As for Sonny Boy, honestly, I think once I get the time, it looks like it could be an easy 8 for me, despite the fact that I killed it.
Yeah.
Once again, my feelings on Sonny Boy are harsh and weird. I'm sorry. I made this happen.
It is what it is.
I really hope Girlfriend brings both of you guys back next week, because I want the Trash Squad to enjoy their trash together.
Oh my god, I swear to god, if Duke makes it through this entire show...
No, there's no
just
way.
Dodging left and right because other shows keep fucking up.
There's no way.
That would mean both Vanitas, Itaden, Aquatope, Remake, and Girlfriend would all have to fuck up first. I can actually see Black Company. I can actually see Black Company dying first. It gets like just a bad episode for you, Linus.
Like, actually, I could see see Remake dying from me. If it's a bad episode that someone doesn't like, besides me.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well, because that show is not immune to my score, and if it fucks up, because it's skirted the line with a few of them, with having something that really peeved me off, but then it turned out to be something very minor with how they handled it later. I can't remember it now, I just remember that being my reaction on it. with comparably black company, I think it's probably gonna have a egregious episode that I don't like that is gonna have me killing it at some point. But maybe it won't. It's just kind of the feeling it gives me. I'm pretty sure the girlfriend, well, at some point will probably have an episode that just bores me though. I'm pretty sure it'll do that.
The Trash Squad might have had its moments, but the Trash Squad might have a falling out eventually. Sadly.
Like we're garbage, and we enjoy eating garbage. Like there's two truths to reality. The world is garbage, and garbage is delicious. But at some point, you're kind of full and can't eat any more garbage.
Mm-hmm. I love
So then, do you
Euro
see it as a
Jank
show that
games.
you...
Sorry.
Do you see it as a show that you'll just completely hate and drop, or a show that you'll just be like, okay, I will pick this up again at a later date? It's my question.
I don't know if it has a episode like that. I'm busy enough as it is in life that I wasn't really watching anime before I decided to do the FMK and then pick that up again. I still love anime. I think it's probably the type of media I enjoy the most, as anime tends to do the more varied amount of things and more interesting things compared to real-time TV or shows like Game of Thrones to me. Because, I don't know, shows like that tend to bore me. Cartoon, like Western animated media tends to not be as fulfilling to me. So when I want to sit down and watch something, it is most of the time going to be anime.
What? You mean you don't want South Park, but again? You don't want The Simpsons, but again?
Nah, I've had my fill.
But that's Western animation.
I know, exactly. That's why I've had my fucking fill.
Official predictions. What shows do you think are, for certain, going to be here by the end?
Vanitas!
Like, if Vanitas needs to do something real fucking weird to get dropped, with my personal feeling on Itaden right now, I think that might have a strong case of staying. But apart from that, I'd say Vanitas is probably the only one I could say for certain is going to be here the entire time.
I think...
Yeah.
Honestly, I was going to say that too, but I was also going to throw in Aquatope. But hearing how you didn't throw Aquatope in there, maybe I might be free from that show at some point.
Lemis, any show can do anything to fuck up enough for me to give it the knife. Fucking take Shadow's House for an instance. So, I mean, Aquatope can do something that I will not enjoy anymore and will kill it for. Or it might just start boring me if it doesn't do anything more interesting. And I don't know, there's just something I'd rather see these two girls just form a close friendship than a relationship, because fucking watching lesbians, I mean, sure, if you're into that, good, but I don't really enjoy it in any way.
I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be them forming a friendship and a attachment to this aquarium for the first 12. Then, in the second cour, I think it's definitely going to move more into the romance angle.
Maybe not, who knows?
But yeah, with that is our third episode of the Anime FMK for summer 2021. So, Meep, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me in Meep's mother's bedroom, or at that_Viking on Twitter. Mostly as Meep's mother's bedroom after I've drowned him in an oil barrel after I swim over there. But, yeah.
Alright, cool, Makan. Meep, go. Because that's what I said first.
You can find me on Friday getting murdered by Makan's character for what I've done. And at Soul_King777 on Twitter. However, do not follow me if you are a minor, or else I will force you to watch the Duke of Death with me.
Oof. And you can find me all over the internet, but you can find all the links at limis.card.co, where you can find me on places such as Twitter, where you can find me posting about, I guess, comms I get for my comfort character. I got a real cute one in recently. It's my pinned, and I really like it. He's really adorable.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will also be making the death card for Sonny Boy once I am not having to talk, because that messes with my Discord really bad when I go into Google Images.
Yikes.
I gotta get the poster. I gotta get the poster for the show, download it, then put it into image flip, then put the SAO "You Are Dead" over it, and that all takes up a lot of RAM, I guess.
Man, you have like 2 bytes of RAM, huh?
I have 4, but I think the RAM might be damaged.
You have 4 bytes? Damn, that's not a lot.
Or
Not even
4
fucking,
gig.
not even kilobytes or anything. God damn.
4 kilobytes left.
It's 4 gigs of RAM.
Oof!
It's 4 gigs of ROM from fucking ReZero.
Ah, Rom, the vacuous spider from Bloodborne.
Well, let us return to the vacuous spider. I believe that's the end of our episode. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
See ya.
Goodbye, Monkey Squad out.
Woo.